Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
Chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. I chase dreams, I'll chase money. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me. Why? I chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. One deep, like sweet, like honey. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me.
You talk big, but your wallet's thin. Claim you're winning while I cash it in. Your schemes are weak, your pitch is lame. I'm stacking gold, you're playing games. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheap old banners. You sell the moon, but can't pay rent. Your big ideas just came and went. I'm counting checks while you pretend. Your pyramids crumble and my climb will end. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheap old banners. You hustle air, I breathe success. Your phony tricks are such a mess. I'll toast to wins, you fake distress. Your con's exposed, no second guess. Your empire's built on plastic pride, but truth's a wave you can't outride. I'm stacking real while you divide. The house of cards where you reside. You'll beg for mercy from coast to coast, saying where's that villain we hate the most. I'm masked up and on the attack. Verbal walk-bys filled with facts. Yeah, I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Maybe you intimidate your friends and kin, but when I play to win. And here we are, right at the end, with your game of cheap pretend. Nothing about your world is real. A plastic person that's used to feel.
It must be lonely to sit on a throne made of silence, built not with trust but with lawsuits and threats. Fall like nails to boards, shut the mouths that know you best. How sad is it to turn your name into a weapon, to aim at your own kin, your own crew, your own clients, just to keep the truth from catching daylight. But see, truth don't bruise, it burns, and maybe that's why you run from it. Why you hide behind courts, behind contracts and clauses, as if a signature can undo a sin. Because truth is kryptonite, and you ain't made of much steel to begin with.
Yeah, I'm getting paid while you're just scammers, swinging fake dreams like broken hammers, getting messed up for what I love the most, wrecking lawyers on these streams I host.
It's your time.
What's up, folks? How's it going today? Man. Welcome to a Fun Time Friday edition. By the way, what's up, Dead Punk? I saw you in the beginning there. Appreciate you, my friend. Oh, my gosh. So, you know the subject we talked about yesterday? You know, well, there were two subjects actually. We talked about. I guess we're gonna follow them both up today. Well, I don't know which is more interesting to me. The meltdown because of the big donor. They actually had a live stream talking about how apparently now they're the victims of them. You know, he's apparently, even though he's given over $50,000, he's apparently a mole by Jeremy Hales, which makes no sense. Or the $30,000 bankruptcy fail. I personally think the $30,000 bankruptcy fail is pretty damn fascinating. Now, if you're wondering what I mean by that, last night you may remember a little discussion about wanting to buy a mobile domicile. You know, if for some reason you missed this, let me remind you, because there are new chapters, like the fact that we know what motorhome you're trying to buy. We know the cost of it. So last night, if you missed this for some reason, I don't want to spend a million years going over something we've already went over, but it does matter because it's part of it. We had this. This was removed, by the way. Then there was a new chapter in it. And then, yeah, we find out exactly what this is. So we found out last night. Remember, by the way, that Michelle Preston is in bankruptcy court. She's decided that she's going to, hey, that's great, Wanda, by the way. Surgery went well, no problems. Great. That is great, man. I love seeing good news like that. Props and love to you, by the way. You know, I saw that come in. I know I didn't wait till the end there, but I was like, hey, I wanted to tell you for sure, man. You know, I root for everyone's success and recovery for sure. You know, we all face stuff, so props to you. But we found out that during this bankruptcy that I guess they think is a big win in some way. I don't really understand, because even they are telling you that best case scenario, this is a pause for a case. But during this, we found out that Preston is actually trying to take out personal loans. She's trying to get money so she could pick up a mobile domicile, you know, aka an RV. Now, there were some questions about what it was, when it was. Well, she posted about it again. She put up enough pictures of it too that somebody found the listing. And the listing of it is a $30,000 vehicle, which of course they can't pay for. There would be no way in hell they'd be able to pay for it. So we're going to talk about that. And she also posted new stuff about it too. So let's look at this part real quick. Then we'll look at the new stuff. We'll look at the actual listings for what she was trying to pick up with. This is wild stuff, man. Imagine you filing bankruptcy, and while you're filing bankruptcy, you're trying to take out personal loans from people. That, if that is not scamming, I don't know what is. I don't. I've got to rate her real fast. What's up, kiddo?
What's up, everyone? And Dad.
Hey. And Dad? Did you say and Dad? What's up, everyone and Dad?
Yeah, I guess that. Because you always.
Yeah.
You're so soft.
What's up, everyone and Dad? Oh, you play with my hair?
That was soft.
My hair is soft. Yeah. That's what happens when you wash it and condition it good. Keep it nice conditioned hair.
But is my hair soft?
Yeah, your hair feels good. Mm-hmm.
Every single day is it soft?
Yeah, unless you could put something in it. Every now and then you put something in it that's gross. You get something in it like candy or something. But hey, you got to go upstairs for a little bit.
I always love you.
I love you too. You're such a good girl.
Hey, there's going to be money.
Yeah, that's. Hey, can you say happy birthday, by the way?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear you.
Dear you. Happy birthday to you. There you go. She says she's turning 47 today. Oh, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Everyone talk about my fake tattoos I got.
Oh, your fake. Oh, yes. I must bring these up. So somebody got a sheet of water applied tattoos.
Yeah, they're fake though, because you don't need real tattoos.
That's right. They're fake. She doesn't need real tattoos, but she's got her 4 cool tattoos, huh? You got a guitar. What do you got here? A guitar, headphones. Heck yeah, I'll go with that. Is that Pokemon?
It's a turtle.
Yeah, is that Squirtle?
I think it's Squirtle but green.
Looks like Squirtle. Oh, by the way, there's Taz. How much is that, Timmy?
$5.
Can you say thank you, Taz?
Thank you, Taz.
That's candy.
Tell which arm is it?
What? That's your left arm.
Yep.
Yeah. Am I right?
Yes.
No, I thought that was right. Oh, by the way, can you say thank you? I'm my favorites. Can you say thank you to I'm my favorites?
It's $1.
And 99. That would be $2.
$2?
Yeah, that's great right there. So can you say
Everyone.
thank you?
One.
Yeah. It says for the wonderful you. That's nice, huh? Yeah.
What? Oh, is it a fluffy cat? You remember Fluffy Cat?
Fluffy Cat. I'm sure Fluffy Cat's around.
Fluffy Cat.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you gotta go upstairs.
I love you, Fluffy Cat.
Okay. Well, hey, be careful. Don't trip over that. Don't trip over that. All right. Hey, Sister Sal. Can you say thank you to Sister Sal? Look at that love. Got
$5, $2.
Hearts and everything. That's crazy.
More.
Oh yeah, Miss Trust Loon. Can you say thank you?
$2.
Yeah, for 2. That's right.
Thank you.
She's been practicing her counting. That's what she does. Right? It says for your craft project fund. Oh, I went to the P.O. box today. Holy moly! Somebody has not seen. I have not shown it yet. Hey, here's just Bubba here. How much is that?
$10. Show it to me.
I'll show afterwards if you're good.
I'm always good.
Is that right? Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's $10. That's money for you. Oh, look, here's Andre. You say thanks to Andre?
$2.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you there. It's a little candy money there too. My goodness. Hey, look.
$10.
Alan turned 68 today. Can you say happy birthday there too?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alan. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Can you say thank you to Willie? How much is that?
$10.
$10. This is for your candy fund. Yeah, whoa, man.
Show me the
I know. Hey, can you say thank you to SF?
$5.
Yeah, for $5. That's right. She's giving a thumbs up, by the way, and waving. I just realized you can't see that. It says, no matter how bad of a day they could be having, you melt their heart. Oh, it's because you're cute and nice. Hey, if you're good tonight, after the stream, I will show you everything I can. Okay? No, you have to be good first.
Sissy won't give me mac and cheese.
Go tell her I said too. Go tell her. Go tell her. Hey, say thank you to the ball python king.
Thank you, Ball Python King. Thank you.
How much is it? $5? Or is that how much is it?
$5.
$5. Yeah.
I gotta put this
Put it with $5.
quarter in your little piggy bank.
Okay. Oh man, look at this! You got 2 more. Check it out.
Thank
Can
you.
you say thank you to? Yeah, that was Bonnie. That's some for you. That's awesome. And here's another one. That's from
Thank you.
Dragon Lady Crafts. Yeah. Candy money for you too? My goodness.
I'm trying
Okay, hey, go tell her to get you some mac and cheese if you want some, okay?
I'm trying to.
No, don't put that in there right now.
No, you picked it.
No, don't. Be careful with that. It's turned the wrong way. You know, be careful with that. That's so funny.
That's why you have to put the cord in.
Okay, I'll put it up. Thank you. All right, I'll show you that stuff in a little bit, okay? All right, love you. I close the door. Love you. All right, let me wake my monitor back up. All right, here we go. So, again, as I was saying, the this post, again, I'm going to read it. I'm just going to read it quick, going through. So this was, again, deleted, and then we'll have add-ons to it. So good evening. My permanent jewelry is coming to the flea market in Chiefland in 2 weeks. And like we were before with the RV I was buying from Lloyd, I found a beautiful motorhome for HG and I. So we're not so crowded. I can start her official homeschooling. We can have a place of our own since John and I aren't married. I have to raise money quickly, $5,000 down. Again, now we found out it's a $30,000 vehicle here. I'm looking for personal loans. Again, she makes it clear. Not looking for bank loans. She makes this clear in another statement. She wants some poor, unsecured idiot out there that will give her $5,000 to eat it. By the way, they were dancing a lot around this subject last night, too. Somebody asked, "Oh, Tuck, he said that she was she was asking for $5,000." Oh yeah, she certainly did. This is real, by the way. This is legit, very legit. But she said she's selling all of her jewelry she put away for HG later in life. God wants it to happen, it will. I need my own room. You get the rest of it. But she's admitted to a lot here that she probably shouldn't have, By the way, again, let me see if I see the one real fast. She also claimed that she had never gotten money from the donor, never seen any of that $56K. Never touched a dime of it, So there were all kinds of wonderful things. And she also attacked random people for mentioning the fact that maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't be doing this with a bankruptcy on hand. Okay, well, she deleted that. Well, last night she decided to go for broke again. So let's check this one out. So last night, and this is how people find it with all the pictures and everything that she put up with them, too. She posted this. Now, I know these are legit because I took the screenshot myself, So, I can't question the legitimacy of it. But here is this is a statement about, now this is crazy, too, because this is talking about how much money certain things are going to cost. By the way, apparently, we are back to, as far as the big donors' money, we're back to, you have no idea how much money is left. I'm not spending any of it. I don't even have a car. Hint, 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 hint. I need a lawyer. Hint, 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 hint. That's where they're back to. So, but listen to this. This is really interesting. You tell me what this is saying here. So, framing the Barninium will not get us living in it. Okay. Now, I took framing to mean the items that they have there, on hand, the stuff that they've been talking about. We got wood and all of that. Okay. So framing alone wouldn't do it, huh? So the permit fee is $2,500 for an engineer to do the inspections, and the permit will be free. From what I've been told, there's approximately $18,000. Well, the plumber to do the final plumbing is $6,000. From what I'm told, there's approximately $18,000. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean there's $18,000 left? Is that what that's supposed to mean? Like the way it reads, again, her shit reads like I need something to just scramble it. But that's a straight, it doesn't say it's going to cost, because the totals don't match up that she's quoting to 18,000. So It sounds like she's saying there's 18 grand left. That's the way that reads again, you know. They could, if there's only $18,000 after the bullshit, then again, you remember, they did a lot of private donations that outside, and they played a game last night. They were actually calling them donations while trying to say that they didn't do a fundraiser because I said I was going to do something and people get, yeah, you said specifically, I'm getting money to do X. That is a fundraiser. That is exactly what it is. That is the epitome of a fundraiser. You know, I'm taking donations too. But, oh my God. Let me see what the chat thinks. What do you think about that? First of all, as we move forward, the approximately $18,000. Well, what does that mean exactly? Are they trying to say that that's what's left? Or are they trying to say that $18,000 for a whale? That's hilarious for the whale there. $18,000. Well, from what I've been told, there's approximately $18,000. Well, the plumber, you know what's weird too is they capitalize this. When I first saw it, I was like, wasn't there a plumber in the lawsuit one time? The plumber? Not saying that's the same person, but to do the final plumbing, it would be $6,000. The electrician will be more. So, okay, we've got outside money in this. Again, for anybody keeping score here, you know, they're telling us they need $2,500. Look, this is the first time. Yeah, what's really jacked up about this is, again, they've never supplied any kind of totals ever. And how long have they had money, you know? So they're telling us they have totals, you know? They actually do have totals, but... Okay, now we have, one of them just says, again, more electrician. How much do you think, if they're quoting $6,000 for final plumbing, how much do you think the electrician would be in there? Also, they say the insulation is approximately $15,000 for spray foam, okay? So... I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to come up with a guesstimation of, let's call it 10K. I see some 12s, 15, you know, and let's call it 10K just to lowball that number. All right. Just to, we're going to be nice. We're going to say, you know, that's the nice total. That'll be the gift level, you know. So, you know, with $2,500 and $6,000 by itself, that of course would be $8,500. You pop in another 10K, that'd be $18,500. Then you pop in another 15K, that's $33,500 right there. So, what's amazing is if any of this is even remotely correct, again, what did your money go to? If there really was only $18,000 left, if that is true, if she actually gave away the ghost in there, oh my God. Again, 56K. We had totals last night. Just to note this too, we had the donor man. He actually, he had a lot to say yesterday. He brought up numbers, and these numbers, I mean, there's some wild numbers. Now they keep saying again they had fees and all of that. Now, PayPal fees, of course, you're going to have some fees. Yeah, that's true. You know, unless it depends on the way it's sent. To be honest, if they sent the money like friends and family, then maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to check into seeing what kind of fee system, if they send it like a donation, because they were talking about donations. If you give somebody a donation, it can be different there. But we have these numbers that were thrown around yesterday. We had, again, specific dates, specific numbers. You see these numbers that are thrown in there too. And the total of those, plus he notes, there's more with super chats and everything else, but the number of that stuff was $54,000. So the number, they keep arguing, the amount of money. They're calling this guy a liar right now. They were doing it last night again. Then they switched up the narrative, basically trying to attach a victim narrative. Like I said, it was amazing to see, because anytime somebody remotely questions something, it becomes a victim narrative. But that's one donor. Again, so if we say this guy, let's top him out at 56K. Like, I think we're being nice there. We had another donor that noted that they gave $3,000. There are other donors. If you put them all together, let's just say they made another 20 grand. let's lowball it into that, because we're seeing people coming off thousands of dollars here, thousands of dollars there, which just blows my mind, by the way. That doesn't count, of course. They also were talking about the thousands they spent for Christmas, but didn't they have people give gifts? Like actual gifts? I remember seeing Amazon lists and people sending in boxes of stuff and all of that. So apparently, though, they're like, no, all of that costs money, So apparently they've been taken away from this. I suppose, like I said, they've tried to make it as confusing as possible to know if there is money, if there isn't. All they needed to do was be clear about it from go. But no. Now they're talking about, again, new grift. They need a lawyer. They don't even have a car anymore. All of that wonderful stuff. So anyway, going back to this here. The insulation is approximately $15,000 for spray foam. And it isn't a matter of want. It's a matter of metal buildings in Florida get spray foam and barriers, etc. Then the drywall, okay? Then there's drywall too, okay? So you got drywalling costs. We haven't even added in there. So you're just, again, taking the total that we were already up to without any other costs that they're throwing out there. We're up to $33,000 in cost that they were noting. And this tells you what they haven't done, by the way. Like to me, the amazing thing here is, what have you done? What have you actually accomplished with that much money? What did you get done? That fence, what are you trying to tell me it cost? Are you trying to tell me to ignore all this other money and shit that came into? What are you trying to say that thing by itself costs? On top of that, what are you trying to tell me that that a Christmas party for one person, it ended up costing? Because again, I want you to think about it, all right? Even if we were being very, very nice about totals, right? And we said that there was, give me 1 second. If we said there was, what, 56,000, if we said they didn't even make another dime outside of the $56,000, right? And they had gone in and there was only $18,000 left. Just saying that would mean that they had spent what, $38,000? Now, how exactly would that have, again, made up for $38,000? How would anything that's been done even come remotely close to totals like that? But they're noting they need drywall. Then we have a sink, but we have no cabinets. So they're telling you, we don't have any kind of cabinetry. We don't have any of the interior that's there. So with all of that, we'll be getting a mobile home that's livable. And doing the house as we can is the right thing to do. So it will be framed and we still can't live in it. Now look at this. That is not what we need, since there is not enough money to make it livable. So they're telling you straight up, anybody that wants to take my statement here and try to turn it into something else and try to tell me, oh, it's just her terrible writing. She said that there is not enough money to make this thing livable. So again, all of that money, no matter what they're saying, they're telling you that there's not enough. I would love to hear the explanation for how the fuck you take the amount of money that we saw running through these people. Oh my God. They lived high on the freaking hog for a hot minute. And now it looks like oh my God. It's so crazy, dude. I can't believe this is real. I can't believe she posted this shit. I was like, are you kidding me? I had other things I was going to cover today. I couldn't believe this was really what they posted up. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Not enough money to make it livable. Now, when they took the money, it was totally enough. But now it's not enough to make it livable. And they're all pleading poverty. You know, you got one of them out there saying, I don't have a car. I need to somehow expense in a lawyer. I don't have any money. Wait, what? What? How's that working again? Not to mention, you know, now I do know that their shows ain't making what they used to. You know, last night, turning the big donor into the devil. That's pretty much, they've got to have a devil. And they turned him into the devil last night. Now, how much money did that make them? Well, it made them around 10 donations. You know, that's public. Let's just say they got 5 behind the scenes. 15 donations. That would be a high mark for them. They for a lot of their live stream too, while viewing, I got sent some clips of it, you know, and I thank you for the clippers, because I do not want to send through those fucking live streams. But they were having trouble scraping 400 listeners for a lot of it. That was kind of wild to me too. You know, I think some people are waking up to the fact that they've been taken. Again, there's a lot of money that it's not. By the way, somebody posted this today. It's the 1 year anniversary of the John Cook arrest. You know, when he was arrested for that, the mugshot, that infamous mugshot. It's been that much time. You look at how much insanity has happened in that time frame. It's wild. It feels like this has been going on for decades. Does it not? I mean, when you look at this insanity, you not feel like this has been going on for a decade or 10. That's wild, isn't it? But we still need all the screws and hangers and all that too. We need the mobile home right now more than the framing truth. I need school HG. We deserve to be in a better space. And so they're telling now, they put up a bunch of pictures. Now this is how I'm gonna show you their other pictures that they put up with this as well. I went in and made sure that I screenshot. Other people pointed out this stuff was going up too, so props to them as well. You know who you are. Oh my goodness, give me a second here. Let me make sure this divides off correctly. Just give me 1 second. I'm pulling all this up here. All right, so they put up in picture-wise. Now, one of the things that helped people find this were the way this is numbered. They just took the pictures from the source, and they admitted some stuff in these things too, which were interesting. So she noted, and again, I took these myself. So when they're inevitably saying, oh, I didn't say this, or I didn't, I took these screenshots myself. I 100% know that they're legit. So the author, you all would make the decision I have in my position if you knew you'd stay living like this for another year or more. How do you decide about a year or more? So they're telling you that project-wise, they anticipate, by the way. We keep being told that, all of this stuff that was promised was just around the corner. Everything would be fixed. It's all gravy. Now it's going to be another year or more before the people who got, again, I know some of you folks that believe or believed these people are out there listening. Does this not piss you off that this is your money? I mean, they scammed you out of money. I would be demanding public transparency off of this. Instead, when a donor asked about it, a guy that put up a lot of money, $56,000 ain't a drop in the bucket. When a guy puts up that kind of money, he's been called a liar, a thief. Again, there are people, again, that hate the guy because they say that he's disruptive in chat. He goes and takes over and more. Yeah, they wouldn't let him do that at all if it weren't for the fact that they thought he was a human piggy bank. Watch now. They were trending. Give me a second. I can't remember what the freaking hashtag they were pushing yesterday. Like again, they were aiming at this guy. And you know what? Like I said, they tried to turn me into the devil because after all of the stuff that I noted that they were doing with this, after that, I said the guy was a coward. And you know why I said that? Because he was slinking back to these people. That would be cowardly. Now he called him out again. So if he's going to be calling that out, I would retract that statement. But anybody that would let these people treat you like garbage, they need a wake-up call. They do. They need somebody. And they were, okay, so they were pushing a hashtag. And if the hashtag was from yesterday, you had 2L saying, I'm done. I'm done. So they were pushing the hashtag, I'm done. They aimed that at the dude. I'm done with you. I guess he won't be paying for those fucking lawyers they thought they were going to be bilking out of him. I mean, if it's correct and the articles about the person are who they indicated, there was a bunch of material that, again, was put out. Certain people like Stupas seem to suggest, oh, yeah, that was no big deal either. Okay. All right. Well, fine. If the amounts of money there are correct, this money would be a drop in the bucket for that person. And good for them, good for them. You get wherever you want in life. No hate on that for sure. But man, these people that parasocially put their hooks in them. And finally, I mean, we're seeing some elbow dropping. What I'm concerned about there is, how the fuck do you return to people that treat you like garbage for months? What convinces you? I noticed a chain of events. I was calling out a bunch of the stupid that had been happening. And I was calling out the two idiots that said they were this guy's friends, but they didn't stand for him. They called this stuff chat drama. They tried to kiss the ass of these people. And he was like, hey, these people ripped me off. They wouldn't call it out. So I was calling that shit out. And then suddenly it was like, no, I've audited and everything's gravy. Well, apparently it's not gravy anymore. So I don't know what's happened there. I do know that they've been talking shit about him a lot. Again, and it didn't take any amount of time. It's like I said, with that guy, he should withhold money from them for an undisclosed amount of time and just be himself. See if they like you there. And they didn't. They absolutely didn't. And it only took a few weeks for them to turn on him. In fact, some of them turned on him right away. Like Marla, again, straight up. And again, there are people, at least people like Miyagi, for example. I mean, they've been 100% clear. They didn't like this guy. They never asked for $1 from him. They were very clear about that. Kudos for that. People at Marla, though, were like, hey, you going to hook me up and give me some money? And this dude talk some shit. And they're like, oh, my God, no, I hate you. They hate you when you slap that wallet shut and stapled it together, buddy. Oh, my God, craziness. So here's her statements, too. Again, she's like, oh, and the electric wires and receptacle switches, etc., will be aligned. So here's some other parts, too. Electrical wiring. they're saying. Receptacle switches. Again, I would be curious. Anybody that has any skills contracting, looking at the numbers that they're quoting, go by their numbers, by the way. I don't want you to be like, their numbers are garbage. Maybe they are. But if you're ranging those numbers in and you look at these other things that they're lacking, what is this project going to cost? Where are their totals at? Because again, like I said, we added up just a few totals that they put up there. And we were already up to $33,000. I would say the way they're talking, 50 grand or very much, or a lot more. I mean, the way their cost inflation is gone, they're now throwing around at least 50 grand. And if they're throwing around 50 grand in cost, and there really was 18 grand left, that'd be $32,000 that's in the hole. And 50 grand would have covered everything to begin with. You know what's amazing is the cost they're throwing around too. The amount of money that was given would have covered all of that. And the only things, again, logically, what has money been spent on? Christmas party, fence. The fence, again, that fence is a few $1,000s. That ain't much of a fucking fence. It's one fence row. And they got Lowe's cards and all kinds of other stuff. And again, a Christmas party, they had donated gifts, all kinds of stuff. But even if you say, okay, let's say they spent $5,000 on it, you still have enough money. So, only we know what's right now for us. Harley needs to come first. Even the commenters were, I'm going to pull you out some comments. Even some of the hardcore people were like, hell no. So she put up pictures. You can see the pictures of the mobile domicile here as well. Again, you notice it also, this is what I think helped people find it, because it had the 2007 Gulfstream Yellowstone. Like that marker right there, I think, told people. Because she's putting up all these pictures here. And this is actually nice, by the way. She also said on there, washer dryer combo in the master bedroom. This is what we need. An owner dropping price almost in half for me. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, now the thing is listed for $30,000, but let's just say that a sob story actually worked out, and that owner said $15,000. Well, first of all, they would have to secure $15,000. 2L1 said, I'm not going to give you that money. That's not what it was for. So even if they had $18,000 put away, 2L1 said, I'm not. She said it last night live, by the way. I heard the clip. So you can't have that money, Lynette Preston. That's right. If you think you have $18,000, she said that's not what it's given for, and you don't get to have it. Sorry about your luck. She said that live. The donors gave it to me for a specific thing, and by God, that's what it's going for. Holy shit. Oh my God, it's so funny. Call her out, man. But she also put in something else here. Now, this is a huge statement, too. I want you to catch this. Picture looks weird because I have removed the owner sitting on the couch. Wait, so you know how to manipulate pictures? Is that what you're telling us? Huh. That's actually an oopsie, an incidental inclusion there. I actually know how to manipulate pictures. Good stuff, right? Because this is somebody, again, they claim to be indigent, elderly, have no tech skills at all, all that. And yet they know how to remove people sitting in chairs. Huh. That's very fascinating, isn't it? I love it. I love it. By the way, I like the fascinating. Let me dance for it. I'm fascinated, baby. Why do I say fascinated all the time? Because I'm replacing another F word. Holy. Oh my God, that's so funny. Dance for me, baby. Getting on topic again. Back to the show. Oh my God, I can't believe this stuff's real, man. It's so insane. I mean, that's a nice vehicle, you know. Now remember too, on top of that, I just want to add this in because I never put it in with stuff. The other day, she posted this stuff too. Remember, no jewelry was ever claimed, right? So she has her permanent jewelry and all this other stuff she says she's selling, but she was also selling things like this: crystal jewelry jars, $75. But all that money goes to tortoise rescue shell babies. Wait a minute. Now, again, she messed up with the RV thing because she told you she's selling all this stuff, and it all goes to that. So this personal use. So this deflection note right here, sorry, that doesn't save you. It doesn't save you at all. Now, here's your wonderful bombshell off of it. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? So let's check this out. So there is indeed. Now I pulled my own picture. I pulled this redacted image I actually took from Facebook. I can't remember which one of you posted this one with the owner removed, but I like the way it had the setup and everything. So I pulled this, but like I said, I've already got my own images too. You know, I just like the way this sets up here. So you can see the vehicle itself, right? The price that I said, $30,000. It's right there. So as far as the listing is concerned, even if she said the person would give it to her for almost half price, if that was true, we're talking about a $15,000 vehicle. We're talking about somebody that, again, would never see that money. Ever. There's no way. Because, you know, $5,000, you're talking about taking personal loans from people and selling off items while you're in bankruptcy, which is a huge no-no. You cannot do that. But they've already admitted it. I love that that's been admitted to, by the way, because even if she tries to do this shit under the table, what she's admitted to doing here is having jewelry that she set aside for the kid, but not listing any of this stuff. So she's admitted to fraud as far as the documentation is concerned. And then on top of it, talking about taking out personal loans. Again, she said that she's not trying to take out loans from a bank. She thinks it's okay. Like that's not a problem if you try to go out and take out personal. Any moron out there, by the way, that gives this person any money. I'm not talking about the guy trying to sell a vehicle. Let me make that clear. They wouldn't know who that would be. I'm talking about any moron out there that knows what these people are doing, what they represent, where they are right now with money that would give them a dime. You will never see that money again. That will never happen. They are in the midst. If you find that to be some kind of horrible statement, they are filing bankruptcy. I mean, seriously. They're going to screw you out of your money. If you sue them, what would really be interesting is if you did that and took money, didn't put that in, and you managed to get your bankruptcy through, it wouldn't write off your debt either. See, that would be another problem as well. You do realize that for the 7 years, you can't just be like, I'm not going to do that. But you'd get screwed because there's no way they can pay you back. They have nothing. I mean, shit. They would never pay you back. But $15,000 again. These are people. So from her, I've been drilling this point too. Just as you know, I want to show you some comments in a few minutes from people in the chat. Even people, the hardcore 2L fans are like, "Yo, it's great that you're helping pay out the property taxes, but maybe y'all need to come up with a plan where she'll pay her own shit, because you can't do this forever. You know, what that tells me is they're tired of paying this person's bill because they're not making good decisions. They don't offer, you know, it would be different if this person offered some kind of commodity for it. Even when she was talking about having her own freaking YouTube, if she wanted to do that, people wanted to help out with that, that would have been different. But again, they were running fundraisers. When they're saying, I'm going to put together this person's life, blah, blah, blah. You also can't, I hate to tell 2L this too, but if you raise money in the name of Michelle Preston, you have to give her that money. You do. It is criminal to withhold that. It does not matter what intended stated purpose that you put on there. You will have to turn that money over. You don't get to hold on to it and pretend it's not their money. You raised it in their name. It is their money. If they sued you, they could wreck you for that. And you absolutely know these are the type of people that will fuck you up over. If there is $18,000, they would absolutely ruin you for it. But $30,000 noted. See, 3 slides. Again, nothing pointed at the, do not bother this person if you look them up or anything either. They've done nothing wrong in here. All they did was have a listing. So I'm just saying, you know, do not bother a seller for anything. But 3 slides, new rubber all the way down, new motor assembly, steps, new slide canopy on the front slide, recently serviced, no longer needed. I bought a bumper pull instead. $30,000 or best offer. Need to sell ASAP. Okay, let's look at some of the. Now, you could tell this was the right vehicle, by the way. Give me a minute. I usually save these as like its own file, but I didn't. Give me 1 minute here. God, what's crazy? This is so nuts. All right, so here's the pictures for this thing. And this thing actually is decent. It's nice. And this is posted publicly, so it's not a problem to show. Again, you can see it. It's actually a nice vehicle. You know, we're talking about a huge mobile domicile, you know. They put it under pending. So if it was pending, they took LMNOP and their communications as real, as legit, you know. But you can see, like, you'll recognize some of the numbers. Like this one right here. You recognize this picture? This is the same picture that she posted on YouTube. She posted, well, here, she posted on YouTube, and my bad, she posted it on Facebook and YouTube, brother. I had to look at both of them. I remember the YouTube one's better. But that one right there, I mean, you recognize it right off the bat. That's the one she led with. She was telling people, oh, man, this is the thing. This is what I need here. You know? Now, some of these are going to pop up out of order, maybe. So, I mean, look at it. You'll recognize the pictures there. And I mean, this is nice. It's actually a very nice mobile domicile, you know? Recognize that picture there. Bedroom. That shower really stuck out to me from her statements. You know, like that was one of the easy indicators. Because check this out for me. Like when I looked at it, like again, all of it lines up, but still, I mean, there are always people who are like, well, maybe not. No, you know, it's 100% it. It is definitely it. And of course, she's going to blame everybody for talking about this too. She's going to, you know, blow her wand on it. You know what? This dude right here, it'd be a fucking shame. Like if he was going to do a $5,000 down, because there is no way they would have gotten that the rest of that money. And if you needed to sell it, you have no idea. You see the sob story that's sold publicly in order to garner this vehicle. You have no idea what's probably been message to this person too. You know, oh my God, look at that. It's not blue. What's going on? It's not bucketish. We can do with that thing. Put a bucket in the back. I mean, what's going on, man? I'm confused. How do you know if this thing's on? But again, you know, you have those. You saw the explanation of it and more. Now, like I said, she's saying that on top of stuff, her discussion about money. This is what she had to say about money, by the way. Give me 1 minute. About Mr. $56,000. Again, check this out here. I never got any donations for $56K. This came from the now defunct YouTube statements too, just to tie this back all together, you know. Never got 1 penny of anything, not 1 dime, not 1 nickel, nothing. There was never a donation for $56K. They just called only me, you were a liar. That's what they're telling you, buddy. They're calling you a liar. This is what your nicety to these people. She has already framed herself as a victim of you. She did this months ago. I told you that. I showed all of the, you know, you don't, the freaking, if you go and you check out, they, one thing I have to hand, like Miyagi credit for is the videos that were up there. Nobody pressured them into taking them down. Oh my God, by the way, this is funny. You want to see something funny off of that? I was looking at one of the new Miyagi videos, by the way, that was talking about a lot of this stuff. And they have people in the chat. These people, the 2 elbows, they think that their statements online, they think that the stuff they say in chat is copyright protected. Are you freaking kidding? Have you never read the terms of service on any of these platforms? How do you think that your statements get embedded into the media and more? Your statements are not copyright protected. Your quote unquote content, that is not your fucking content. Your words when you post them publicly. Oh God. I love when they're telling people you can't use that. It's trademarked. What's in there? What do you think is trademarked there? Your words are not protected. Look it up. It's very simple to find out. See, if your comments posted in places, like I used to pull up Twitter terms of service. I used to keep it around. The first person that ever tried to come at me and tried to threaten me with litigate, back when I was just a tiny channel, by the way, tried to tell me the same thing, but with Twitter posts. And I absolutely demolished them with Twitter terms of service. All the terms of service are the same. Again, you know, how do you think that these platforms, they have the mainstream media link in statements and more that people make without getting sued? Because it's in the terms of service. You signed away anything that you think is a quote unquote right for this kind of stuff. Now, again, if you're making videos, if they took an entire thing and they didn't transform it in any way, maybe you got a case, you know. But these idiots over there, once they false copyright struck Shara, they gave these idiots the impression that anything that they create somehow in some way is copyright protected. And it blows my mind if they think this for real. You know, if you say it in a chat, it can pop up anywhere. Again, why do you think there's never been, when people are getting canceled, right? Like somebody says something on Twitter or on YouTube and it's horribly egregious, right? How do you think they've never sued someone and won and stopped people from talking about what they said? Now, some people try to sue, but they lose. They end up paying a lot of money too because they lose. But why do you think they don't just go that route and Never have to work again. Why do they have to worry about being canceled? Because you signed away the rights there. When you post something stupid, you post anything. How the fuck do you think you talk about Jeremy? Or you talk about me? Or you talk about Megan? Or whomever? My God, people. Come on. The dumbest shit I've ever heard. So anyway, let's go back to that Preston thing about the 56K. I just wanted to show you. Like, these people think that they're just words, random shit they post on Facebook, on YouTube. It's protected, and it blows my mind. How do you think that? How can you be so stupid? Do I sound cruel there? Well, somebody should be then. If that sounds cruel to you, maybe somebody should be cruel to you and tell you the facts of read the freaking terms of service. Holy God. If you want privacy, don't do shit publicly. It's the unfortunate thing. You think that, see, these people, what blows my mind is they think that they could sit here and celebrate people third-party harassing Jeremy Hales. They could go in, they could watch video of him driving down the fucking street, and they think that's all good, and that's gravy, right? Because that's public. But their statements are copyright protected. What the hell, man? Oh, my God. Anyway, all right. I know I ran it for a minute there, but that just blows my mind sometimes. Ugh. Makes my brain hurt. These people hurt my brain, man. James, like, James asked, by the way, do y'all want to look at a court document today, too, on what the judge had to say about how the bankruptcy thing's going to roll forward, babies? You want to see that too? Man, there's so much shit to catch up on. Excuse me, I'm in a profane mood. If you do not like profanity, then shield your ears a little. These people try. They don't make me mad, but the stupid to 11. I'm like, holy crap! It shortcuts my language. And the fascinatings go away, and the other F's come out. Yeah. So anyway, let's continue here. It's funny that that's the amount of money he raised for the aunt to try to take away my daughter, or take my daughter away, who's never seen. La 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 la. So you have all this stuff here, but the 56K doesn't exist. It's not realistic, babies. It's not real at all. Isn't that amazing? That's cool, dude. Give me a second. I gotta look at something. That's freaking awesome. I'm looking at a jewelry box that looks like the Doctor Who TARDIS. This is freaking awesome, man. Give me 1 minute. That is cool, dude. That's a score now. Man, all right, thank you. Cool. I just got given a Doctor Who TARDIS. Joy, that's cool as heck. I'll take a picture of it in a little bit. That's cool. Appreciate it. I got me a present while I was live streaming. So you have, again, the denial, though, of 56K. Never touched it, never saw it, never got a slice of it. And again, there's a reason they do that, too. It's one or the other. It's either they really weren't given access to the money that was raised in their name, and it doesn't matter what the excuse is. There have been lawsuits over this kind of stuff. There was a homeless guy that two people put together a GoFundMe for, and it went viral. And it raised a lot of money. Well, they misspent some of the funds. They spent some funds on what they thought would be good. They said, because they thought they deserved a little bit too. But on top of that, they wouldn't give the person the funds. They were going to decide how, because this person's homeless, right? They obviously don't make good decisions. That would make sense, right? Except for the fact that you can't do that. You can't raise money for somebody and then not give them the money. You can't do it. And if the donors don't like that, well, tough shit. You shouldn't have gave that person money then. If you think that person, they don't have any, they don't have guardianship over them. They don't have any rights to their money. So if you don't like that, you shouldn't use them as a reason to glean funds. Oh, by the way, so check this out too. Give me 1 second. I got to grab these. I was looking at comments about some of this. It's funny because now apparently only me is tied to Germany somehow. You know, that's always the go-to, isn't it? Anytime somebody starts pointing out that there's some real problems out there, and suddenly they're a mole for Germany. And it's like, are you kidding me? You think Jeremy Hill's like he had somebody dump freaking almost 60K on these people for what? That's the nuttiest freaking thing. But here's some comments from videos talking about the only me, the David the Donor situation, and everything that's come up in the last few days. So, 2L, it's so nice of you to have paid taxes. However, they have to get a plan in place so this doesn't happen again. Are there any measures being taken to ensure that they carry on in the future? People can only donate so much. They'll turn on you for this kind of shit, by the way. I'm not being snarky, but realistic. It's true. You know, these people are running a scam on you idiots. What is a scam, by the way? People want to say that I saw somebody saying maybe it's mismanagement of money. No, they took money for a stated purpose. They have not completed these purposes. And you have the person that this money is supposed to go for telling you don't have enough money now to complete stated purpose. I mean, my God, they would never told you about the $56,000 ever if that guy would have gone public. They would have never told you how much money that was being raised there because that puts a significant dent in it. Now they're going to raise for a lawyer. 2L's now. I thought 2L was a lawyer, by the way. Mistaken for a lawyer all the time. But apparently this is a complex case. Now she needs a lawyer. She also admitted, good job, by the way, last night, admitting that you fucked up on your own, that you went in and talked about the wrong filing. Whoopsie. That was on you. You mistaken. Like covered the wrong one. You oh my God. The Clippers had a field day yesterday. It was something else. But I'm not being snarky. I'm being realistic. I just think learning to budget and manage is important when money is tight. I know I was a single mom for years, working county job. It was tight, but I did it. These people, again, how are you going to teach them to manage money? Again, they have a vehicle. They noted this in bankruptcy, that when you add in, they pay over $700 for the vehicle a month, which is insane when you think about it. On top of it, it's because they're high risk, you know. On top of it, they have they're paying $100 and something for insurance a month, and they're noting $200 in gas or so a month, which makes sense. They're going to have a vehicle. You're in the middle of Podunk, I get it. But a $700 vehicle, now they make $900 something a month in Social Security, or LP does. So she has a vehicle that costs more per month than all of her Social Security. How in the world do you think she's going to pay for her taxes? How do you think that she's going to pay for living and stuff? How do you think that carries forward? The long-term plan was you. You were supposed to pay for it forever. And they don't, again, if they offered you entertainment or whatever, if you want to pay for it, that's cool. I mean, again, we run a for-profit show, but we run a show for you. You know? We try to deliver something fun. If people want to freaking back that, they can. These people, they don't give you anything. They are like, they have made LP and JC into a pet or something that they have no. They become a cause. But the problem with the cause is the cause don't shut up. The cause doesn't stop saying things that it shouldn't. The cause doesn't stop turning on people publicly. And the cause causes issues. So let's see. Then they go after, again, the donor. You know, you're making a fool of yourself, donor. Again. So going after, here's another one. Oh, this talks about money and how much money's made. If I remember back correctly, MP's $400 a month for a flea market booth. Wait, so she's paying $400 a month for that booth? You're kidding me, right? I mean, booths do cost money for sure. But who's been underwriting that cost? You're talking about nearly $5,000 a year in flea market booth costs. At one facility, if that's true. That doesn't count in all of the other assorted display cases and whatnot, that all the sundries, let's say, that have been added there over time, that other people obviously paid for. I mean, you're talking about in 1 year with all the cabinetry and everything else, there's probably 10 grand in that. You notice all that money came in and everything got nice. Now, again, maybe that was other donors. Maybe that's people trying to be nice about it. You know, if people wanted to give a hand up, I'm not trying to be addicted to people giving a hand up either. I understand, but you've been misled, people. What does it take before you're like, yo, I see it. I see it. You can hate. You know, here's the thing, too. Like these people cannot get through their brains. You could hate a Jeremy Hales. You could fucking hate and despise the man. It doesn't make these people good. It doesn't make them right. If they aimed what was aimed at you, how would you respond? Would you just be like, sure, blow up my life? But instead they did all this awful shit and turned it into a cause, and you suckers bought in. And more of them are bouncing out because they keep bringing crazier people in. How much crazy do you need? When Paint Chips came in, he's in another lawsuit that is not going very well, it looks like, where he is being accused of being a court bully for profit. Intimidating witnesses and more. It does not look very good. This guy spends 4 years in prison. You don't have a problem with that? You connect your money to that? What about all these other, the mental illness in some of these? I mean, my God. At what point do you wake up and think, man, this is bad. Something's wrong here. Maybe I was misled. But $400 a month is a consistent chunk of change that could go towards quickly building out a small portion of the home to a functioning state, or save for property taxes, daily living, etc. One can realize a much bigger profit selling flea market mint style much cheaper. No cabinet for sink, no money. Now again, see, this tells me, look, they're seeing her posts. They know what she's posting about. This doesn't bother you that she's out there telling you that they're out of money? Holy God, man. I mean, I see somebody yesterday posting about the $3,000 fucking dollars they dropped on this person too. Again, how much money? You don't even know how much money was given. Some of these people are like, oh, well, it's great. They delivered on X, Y, and Z. Okay, well, if you gave me $20,000 and I deliver on, let's say, a $7,000 fence, did I actually deliver what you gave me? Do I get to keep the $13,000? Do I get to call that a success? How does that work? Because if so, maybe I need to get into the fence business. Holy God. Oh, Lord. But buy used or build one. RE, imagine what the family budget could afford. And if permanency there isn't possible, sell, get in Section 8 where it'll be. Pets are expensive. Yeah, they bought it. Damn, they posted about buying pets on these people's money. They donated to somebody for indigency. God, a year of fucking fundraising. They bragged about their dog. They bragged about how expensive the dog was. She posted pictures of it. Here. I mean, shit, you can see it. Look at it. It's right here. This dog right here. This was on her Facebook post. I mean, she's just flaunting it. Did you give money for this thing? Did you folks, when you sent in your money, was it for a dog? Because like they're telling you they have trouble for meals. By the way, explain that to me too. Okay, they have almost $800 a month budgeted for meals just off EBT for the 3 people. They're noting almost $800 a month that they've got. Now I don't know if that includes everybody. But they themselves told us LP by herself is about $358, I think it was. I never checked the exact math on that, but you're rolling towards $100 a freaking week in food just for her. Now, if they were smart about their money, we were talking about needing money for turtles. Again, when she posted the jewelry thing, she was talking about needing money for turtles. If you can't feed yourself, what business do you have picking up a dog? What business do you have picking up turtles and shit? You don't, man. It's not irresponsible. Like if you've got a kid there too, like you would think again, people would start questioning this stuff. Only God. Maybe thinning the collection of them is wise. The pets. Yes, there's a bunch of them. They will attack you for these kind of statements. I'm surprised this statement actually was out there. Like I said, the mood of people that are commenting, a lot of them are waking up to the fact, if you carry this a little further forward and you think that this just isn't incidental, maybe this is a way of life. If you go back to Northport, folks, and you start looking at the asking like this, the begging and shit, the dozens of GoFundMes, that stuff didn't come up in Otter Creek. It was already there. When you start looking at it like that, you are just the most successful audience of people that ever did it. When you start, they would not show you the stuff that came up. They told you not to listen to anyone else. Why would they do that? Because they don't want you to hear what's out there about these folks. Only God. Why do you think they only read you pieces of court filings? Because they don't want you to know. Again, you can disagree with Fed too as well. I've been trying to note this as well. Some of the, I see people that post and say, I don't think this person or this person should be there. Okay, well, if you think that, fine. These people, the Fed case 1, Lynette Preston and John Cook. Really go and look at what's been there. Look at some of the stuff that's been talked about. You all too, you all loved Shara. You loved her until she didn't agree anymore. Then she's some kind of devil. Big donor. You all loved him until then he's the devil. Slug. How many times does that have to happen? But anyway, especially if one aspires to travel, it's terribly moist in Otter Creek. Not ideal for tourists anyway. HG first. There's a lovely school with scholarships and grants in my town, not far from Otter Creek for special needs. You also have to talk about this is probably not the best, not the best admission. Because this stuff is subpoenable, like, again, why not just show the record of stuff publicly? You know how much could have been prevented by that? You know why you wouldn't show that publicly? Because I imagine that the numbers, they are not going to be anywhere near what people think. So they say, oh yeah, do we have a record of donations? Oh yeah, so do I. Well, so will the bankruptcy courts and more, because it's her money. Those days too, that he popped up, are they telling us that those days are real now. I mean, it's bizarre. But again, the script will get flipped. It'll be about their victim narrative, and it'll be about only me and Jeremy. Oh my God. They're all blaming everything on him, on the donor, and on Hales. It's like, what? And they've started talking about how there's somehow. Does it not bother these folks? Again, you folks that have backed that, did you give $6,000 for a bankruptcy lawyer? Only to have, first of all, don't you feel lied to? You were told that there was a lawyer being brought in. You were going to get a lawyer there. Not that you were going to have a bankruptcy lawyer brought in. But they lied, and they planned it from go. Now, how do we know that they planned it from go? Well, it is 100%. It's clear. Let me show you, by the way, since I know there have been a lot of little eyeballs watching lately. This right here, $338 in court costs from go. When that was noted, that is the cost of bankruptcy. That is to file bankruptcy. So when they're telling you Florida counsel for MP was found, that was never about the Fed cases. That was about bankruptcy. And all that does is delay the cases. Do you think that they're going to be able to write off decisions that have never come in? Do you think they're going to be able to write off court cases that haven't been filed yet? Because they think, if you read the filings there, LP thinks that she's going to be able to file off court cases that have not even been filed yet. Potentially, there's certain people listed. And the stuff she thinks that she might win if she continues court battles, do you know what that means? That means that they think that the people out there are going to continue funding her in court, despite the fact that when they funded her in court for the thumbnail lawsuit, they dropped it. When they funded her in the Trespass 5 lawsuit, they dropped it. When they put together funding and more, so BBB, who would stay around for a Fed one, he dropped out, and their plan is to delay it for a couple of months. But they planned this from go. If you look at the receipts, if you look at who they went to, this was planned from go, and they misled you on it. They're misleading you on what this is going to accomplish. So here's Fed 1. And it will, again, it can pause a case. That's the best case scenario. It's going to pause these cases until the bankruptcy is finalized. So here's the document. I'm going to look at Fed 1. Now, Fed 2, it's about the same. Max Lab, by the way, props, buddy. Well, he always, I like to give him props because he keeps up with everything there. Props to you, my friend. But this is document 169. If you have been keeping up, there are a lot of filings in Fed 1. But this is the order talking about notice of similar case. Now, LP also mailed in, by the way, to let the judge know they're going to pause. Now, even when you read her statement, I want you to look at what's said there too, especially people that gave money to this stuff. Actually, here, before I pull that up, I will pull this one up. So this is her notice to the court. I cut it off here because underneath has her address and stuff, and it's not worth redacting because there's all this, it's just not worth redacting. There's not that much to it. But listen to the wording here. MP gives notice that she's filed bankruptcy relief in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Northern District of Florida, case number requiring an automatic stay. That does not mean dismissal. Stay does not mean a dismissal. It means it's paused. It's like pushing pause. I do not understand why people are celebrating. It's $6,000 for a pause instead of investing this in a lawyer. The courts gave her so much latitude. Remember, they dumped Bruce. Bruce can tell you whatever about why they popped out. But at the end of the day, in his filing, he told you that the expense of it He wouldn't want to keep up with that I wouldn't want to either. He doesn't think they're going to win. That's what it tells you. If he thought he was going to get a payday, because remember, he did not do that. If the other cases are any indication of what you got, they did not do this for free. They did it on a contingency basis. Remember, there was a contract with Scott Stark and the other lawyer. It said, Lynette Preston, we get 60%, lawyers get 40%. If they don't think they're going to win, of course they're going to drop out. If there's no payday at the end of the rainbow, why would they take risk? Why would they spend so much time? What is the positive for them? Now, again, there's enough butt hurt, like with Bruce, that he will probably he'll do whatever he can to be disruptive and come after folks. But come on, you know. God, man. Bruce, aren't you disappointed, buddy? Aren't you? I mean, for real. They can't manage the egos in this little barnyard that's come together. You could see he was so pissed off the last time they got together. It was amazing. Okay, so let's stay, though. That's the key word. So let's look at the other document. Oh, my God. So here's the order. On July 8th, 2025, the plaintiff filed a notice of similar case, advising the court of pending bankruptcy petition filed defendant Preston on July 3rd, 2025. That would be document 168. Now, given the pending bankruptcy petition, it appears that the case should be stayed as to defendant Preston under the automatic bankruptcy stay provision of 11 U.S.C. 362A. Additionally, given the interrelatedness of the claims against the only defendants in this case at this stage, the court believes it may be appropriate to exercise its inherent authority to also stay the case as to defendant Cook pending resolution. So you could be talking about Fed 1 pausing. That's what this says, right? Now I'm going to read the footnotes in a second. But the court's saying, you know, now it'll give a chance to argue this. I honestly think you let the bankruptcy go forward. You don't argue with it. You let them, because they fucked up bad, man. They admitted already, without opening any books or anything, they have already admitted to 3 cellular providers that they did not turn over for discovery. They didn't turn 1 over, but they have 3 of them. They didn't even turn over a phone number. You realize you give the other side months to comb through everything. You give them months before those deadlines. Before answers come in, before deadlines are met. You are giving them more time. And remember what the 5 months cost them. Without those 5 months that Bruce delayed, you wouldn't have had all of this stuff with Shara that came up. You wouldn't have had half of the evidence that you saw. So delays here, they haven't been positive for these people. They have actually been huge negatives. And remember too, one of the issues that they have, and this is a main issue, is trying to write off the lawsuits that may come up. The stuff that she has done is willful and malicious. If you do something that is willful, that is malicious, you can't write that off. I noticed in the bankruptcy, for example, they didn't add in Ohio. Why didn't they add in Ohio? Because they violated protective orders there, and that would be malicious, and that would be willful. Well, if you're putting up signs calling someone a PDF file and trying to ruin their life and business, the idea behind that is that you maliciously did this. So for them to add in that stuff, again, they were arguing, it's funny, because they were arguing that Jeremy Hales was not a creditor. You remember that? That he's just pushing himself in. He's not there. She listed him as a creditor. Preston did. So he is a creditor. They do owe him. Oh, yeah, they invited him to the table as a creditor. It's amazing what you can ask for. It's amazing. He's one person that knows everything that's going on. So now let's look at footnote here. So footnotes, again, we have just documents here. And this is a court decision, essentially saying, with two people in this, looking at where we are right now, if we were to pause this, what benefit would it be to carry this forward with just Cook? You know, oh my God, if we got a 2-month stay, we can actually catch up all the documents. The last time I said that, we had a month stay. You know what? We didn't catch up shit. Oh my gosh. I should stop thinking that. So, what you have here, though, now I don't know. I don't know plaintiff plans. I can see two ways of going about this. You know, again, you could argue and say, no, this shouldn't be paused at all. Or you could welcome back. I personally would welcome the bankruptcy thing. They have already given insight that they never should have. And she has already done stuff outside of the bankruptcy hearing that is the dumbest shit you should ever do. And if they try to drop it, by the way, I hope that the people out there realize $6,000 is not refundable. So if they suddenly decide, no, we don't actually want to do that, that means that they threw that $6,000 of other people's money away. So if they come back later on and they're like, actually the plan was, well, remember they threw your $6,000 away, folks. It wasn't their money they were playing with. It was whoever gave it there. So later on, I'm just saying, when you hear this, actually, it was all along my plan. I am a genius. You remember that. Again, I don't know if that's, I have no idea, but if that happens, you remember it. But they have until the 14th, as again in a few days. So right after the weekend, to respond to the court's suggestion that a bankruptcy stay would be appropriate in this case, and that the stay under the court's inherent authority would be appropriate as to Cook as well. Now, the deadlines there, they are also, as far as summary judgment, they are told. So until we get further guidance here, the deadlines on all of that, they are paused. Now, we also have a Fed 2. Now, Fed 2 reads a little different, okay? It doesn't say that the whole thing should be paused. I honestly wonder if you should argue that it should be, just to be honest, because you know what? Load it up. Let's load it up, baby. And one of these people, how many of them has signed off on it already? They're out here like applauding this stuff. You have, I think everybody, but I have not seen MLS. I've not seen him say anything about a bankruptcy. So I can't say that everyone said that was a great idea. I haven't seen him say anything about that. All these other clowns, I think all of them have said, oh, that's a great idea, right? In fact, you had people like Miltos that were coming out saying, we're going to see a lot more bankruptcies in the future. Are you kidding me? You realize what kind of weight that carries in your life, people, by the way? Do you realize how much impact, what kind of damage that does going forward? If you ever get in a situation where you pile up medical bills, you can't do anything about it. They could take everything from you. It is one of the worst ideas to ever have. So these people bragging about, yeah, we're going to see that more. Oh, come on, people. I know you all are dumb, but really, stop giving other people this idea too, that this is going to be a good idea, that they should go forward with that. Because, you know, there are going to be idiots out there that think that if they ever have a problem, this would be great. This is gravy, baby. And it's a terrible idea. So here's the order for Fed 2. By the way, this would be document 91. We are almost up to 100 documents in Fed 2. So Same thing, noting about July 8th, the notice of, that would be document 89. Now giving the pending, they talk about the automatic stay, and the plaintiffs, they get an opportunity to respond. So the difference between Fed 1 and Fed 2 is this is not talking about pausing the litigation as it goes forward. It's just talking about one person getting a pause for right this moment. So it only helps out LP. Well, fascinating. And also, I mean, as far as answering anything that LP has put out, that stuff gets paused. Again, Fed 1, no matter what they think, Fed 1 is it's bad for her and it's bad for Cook. They're in a bad place, man. They're going to lose that case. I feel pretty confident they're going to lose that case. I don't say that lightly, by the way. You know, I think that I think that we've gotten to a point in that case where they have some real problems. Give me a second. There's one other thing I wanted to pull up. I think they're to the point where they have. Here's another statement. So LP decided to put this up as well. I thought this was kind of, we get these.
Dad.
Oh, hey, girl. Hey, you coming down?
Talk about this thingy.
Oh, it's a sectar.
And what's this?
Oh, that's my jewelry box. Mom, that's mine, baby.
What? Can I see?
No.
You can open it.
It's a jewelry box, baby. Don't take off my jewelry box. It's mine.
Can you open from the other side?
It's like it opens to drawers. Isn't that cool?
This is not drawers. What about the top?
This is just open. It's called a TARDIS. It's a. I'll show it to you on the show later. Okay?
Everyone,
you remember it. You've seen Doctor Who, but I don't think you remember it.
What's Doctor Who?
It's a show, so I don't think you remember it. I'll have to show it to you. You like that though? Cool. Yeah, she has a 1980s toy. If you've never heard of the Sectars, Sectaurs, they're like insect people. She and her sister got a few. I was telling her about them, and they didn't want to share them. So I was like, man, I'll get you some of your own since you wanted to see them.
I got Baxter too with wings.
Yeah,
I don't know without wings I meant.
Yeah, we found a teenage.
I got Baxter with wings, so he looks like he's flying in.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
Yep. Oh, that's the Floofy cat.
thank you, Fluffy Cat.
Yeah, you were talking about Floofy cat earlier, weren't you?
I love you, Fluffy Cat.
you love the idea of a Floofy cat. Well, it said the Floofy overlords, they love you too, and they send the best wishes.
$2. Thank you, Fluffy Cat again.
Yeah, you love the Floofy cat. Love that.
I say it every day in my room.
You do say love the idea of a cat.
Mom, listen to your electric cat.
Hey, take the baby up there. Take the baby up there.
He always screams all the time in my room when I'm trying to sleep at peace and quiet.
He does. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Well, let me tell
him.
Let me tell him. Well, you need to tuck him in because he's tired if he's acting like that, right? You know, when you get tired, you get grumpy.
Yeah.
With a baby. She's
was,
saying her baby here, her toy here he screams at night and stuff because he's just acting up and keeping her awake.
For my son. He steals all my drinks sometimes.
Oh, he steals your drinks? Oh man, well, let me tell him that's not nice behavior. Okay, does he understand that?
And he sometimes shoots my sex at the bottom.
Oh my goodness. Well, don't be taking things that aren't yours, okay?
He takes everything as his because I share with him, but he just thinks that he have everything.
Oh no.
That's funny though.
Oh no.
$5. The
Yeah.
Floofy cat.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, go upstairs. Let me finish what I'm doing.
He gets grumpy sometimes without his Oreos.
Your toy does. Oh my goodness.
He loves his Oreos.
Oh my goodness.
He eats all my Oreos sometimes, but
Well, you gotta
you better
gotta
not.
take him and tuck him in. Tuck him into his bed. Make sure that he lays down and gets some sleep. Okay. So tuck him in and tell him to be good and tell him to be nice. Okay. All right, not Flippy Cat. Hey, close the door too. Okay. Love you. She's got. We tell her her babies that they have to be nice and good and share. You know. She rather she brought a toy down, and that's what she was talking about. He's mean sometimes. I'm like, well, he's probably tired. Let's tuck him in. That's so funny. I saw that super chat, by the way. So I did see a post. Was this your post, by the way? Somebody had noted, said, Nancy, I spoke to the owner who will not be selling the RV. Doing that. I don't see. I hate the fact that if she had, okay, here's the thing. If she had access to her $18,000, which she should have, by the way, it is her money. If there's 18 grand left, it's her money. If she had that and she could pay the man his money, then that's their business. And if the owners don't like that they gave her money, you know. But if he's not going to get paid, yeah. If he cannot get his money in total from that, I don't want a random person to get scammed. So if she has some way of getting, like I said, they had 18,000 and they took money, because again, 2L is not legally allowed to take money and hold on to it, whether you think that's the greatest idea or not. You can't fundraise in another person's name and then say, I know what's in best interest, unless you have some kind of guardianship. So if she had her money there, that'd be one thing. But yeah, otherwise, no. She's going to throw a fit and say people are just being horrible and mean. But she has a bankruptcy going on. And that's the most jacked up part of it. She knows this. She absolutely knows this stuff is going on. And so do all these other people too. And it is wrong for her to go out. If she managed to get the $5,000 together, where she took it from a private, from an individual that was nice enough to give her $5,000 as a loan, that's fraudulent. She's in the middle of a bankruptcy. It's all a problem there. It's 100% a problem. So I saw a post where somebody had mentioned talking to the person. That's why I asked. You know, I typically would not encourage communication with anyone, but at the same time, I do not want this person being ripped off either. It puts you in a weird quandary, you know. But I'm glad that person's not going to be ripped off, because again, if they could prove they have the 18th in, or you know, again, she said that the reason I said 18 and 15 is because she said he would have came down to half price. If he really was going to do that and there was 15, if it's $30,000, it's out of range. That I doubt they have $30,000 left. But if he's willing to take 15, that would have been a totally different story, I think. One second, I was looking for something. My God, man! Anytime I go on onto Facebook, I don't know about y'all, but God, all that is, it feels like bots and thirst traps. You know, if you don't know what I mean by that, like I get flooded. If they know you're male, they flood you with like female pictures. I'm like, man, I'm not 20 here. You know, oh Lord, I just for Facebook now, I pretty much stick to a few groups and read what's there, and I post on my own stuff. But besides that, I was trying to look for a post. That's who I was looking for real quick before we finished. Oh yeah, and I wanted to show you one other thing too. So she posted one other wonderful thing on her standing in truth. Oh my God, has she? Oh, give me a second here. No, it's still there. Although she has limited the comments there, but it is actually still there. This comment, look at this. This is crazy. She tells everybody they're evil, because remember, that's the thing. If she's told no, everyone's evil. So you people are evil, and I pray God punishes you in every way. You're hurting me and my family because we're innocent. God knows it. I pray that God punish. You know, I hate to tell you that's not exactly how the faith is supposed to roll, just by the way. if you extol the virtues of said faith, you know, it's supposed to be like, I hope God rains down hellfire on all of you. But yeah, apparently she's probably mad because people found out she talked about it, by the way. Well, what I wonder is when she came up with this idea to try to pick up this vehicle, the only reason we knew about it is because it was public. Like, what the hell goes on privately? Like, who would that lure in? Man, I hate that for people, man. And these people, when they've put out enough, they've put out enough videos and other things that the search algorithm for her, it may come up as positive. Poor old her. You know, that can harm people down the road. Like, again, this guy, are you telling me that there's some scenario where even if people hate Jeremy Hales, they think that that would have been a great idea? Absolutely not. You know how I know they don't think that? Because they're posting about it. Even the hardcore people are like, yo, this is bad. That's just plenty. Listen to some super chats. Tomorrow, I really do want to review. Again, there's a Bruce filing, Randy going after Bruce's filing, and then Fed 2. I wanted to hit that Shara video. I still haven't gotten to hit that yet. And there was a great video that I liked from DUI Guy. It talks about deleting evidence. It is a very good video. Because these people, you know, it talks about discovery, and it talks about somebody getting in trouble for doing things like that. And remember, the bankruptcy has pointed out that they did not turn over a lot of stuff they were supposed to. They're saying it doesn't exist. And we're not talking about messages here. We are talking about phone numbers. They're deleting evidence as we speak. They delete it, like her posts where she puts up stuff, she deletes it. She's not supposed to do that. Where 2L and her mods delete LP's posts. You're not supposed to do that. It's wild to say. Again, if there's innocence in all that stuff, if you think that doesn't make her look bad, or then tell her to leave it up. So let's keep going. Let's do this. Super chats. Nancy, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you, Nancy. That is much appreciated, by the way. Willie. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Thanks, Willie. That is much appreciated. It's good to see you again, my friend. Thank you. Maybe not. Every time, I don't know why. You would think by now I would not find the name every time I see it funny, but I do. It's just, you ever have like a silly joke that makes you laugh every time you see it? Like I would call them dad humor jokes, things like that. You ever have one and you're like, that's funny? I think that every time I see your name. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, by the way. I appreciate that. Thank you. Fallen Hero. What's up, my friend? Thank you, by the way. Gifted membership there, and it's great to see you again. As always, buddy. Appreciate you. Nadine, thank you for the 6 months there. Hello, everyone from Sear. Well, hello, return from TN. I appreciate you, by the way. I love the fact we have people, you know, YouTube channels and things that not just do cover, but things that people rally behind. It shows you how you can unite a worldwide audience. I love that. I do. By the way, I did check my P.O. box today. I've got to tell you, man, there's so much stuff. I haven't shown the kids there. One person alone, you sent, God, 2 bags of, they're sealed, but they're sealed in lip glosses. You know, they're in like divider bags. It's amazing. I need to take a picture of that. But I'm going to give her one here and one there. So giving them all, you know, because I think that'll be cool. That way, if I parse them out to her, I think she would enjoy them better like that. But that is a cool gift. She loves stuff like that. There are so many crafts. So much stuff. I just have to take pictures. It's funny. When I went over there and I was looking at the boxes, and I was like, man, I bet you like all this stuff is for the kiddos, which is awesome. And it all was like crafting and stuff. It's so good. I love the fact that they can get all that crafting. That's amazing. Just Bubba Hip. Thanks for the 4 months there. Who would be a better co-host next week? Georgie, Timu, Megan Fox, just yeah, I don't know. I'll think about co-hosts next week. I don't know. Like sometimes I used to never have a co-host. You know what I mean? I used to just live stream by myself always. Like I did that for years. But I'll think about it. I might have not a co-host necessarily. I might just invite a couple of people on to talk for a few minutes. I still haven't had a per se lawyer come on yet. That might be funny. Willie, thanks for the 10 there. Fire intro. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate that. Yeah. I enjoy making songs, and you can put together some pretty good videos with, you can find free clips, from some of those free places, but you have to put together, like if I do anything moving avatar, that cost a few bucks, but that's okay. I love making them sometimes. Max Lab, what's up, man? Thank you. Super Chat also, thank you again. Appreciate you, brother. David, thanks for the 9 months. Sticking with you, 9 months. Neener. That's right. Man, Sticky, what's up there? Tug, hope you and the Tugless are well. Was in a wreck at work? Oh, man. I hope you said thankful and just sore. That's good, brother. That's good. I was celebrating 5 years here and starting vacay. Isn't that the way it goes? At least it happened on the beginning. You know what I mean? So, I hope you're okay, man. The wrecks suck, dude. They do. They're always, there's never a good time for them, I'm going to say. But even then, their time, and you're like, okay, are you kidding me? Not now. I'm glad to hear you're okay, David. Wanda, by the way, I'm glad to hear about your surgery going well. Props to you and love to you. Appreciate you again. Dan, thanks for the 5. I found the ecosystem thing, song Grifting. Grifting the night away. A deuce in the loose. It's funny. Drifting the night away. That's good. Well, again, Foxed in Muppet Mafia. You got a birthday song from the little one. That was cool. But props again for your 47th. Appreciate that. Taz again. Caught this before, but I want to say again, thank you for that. When the raid came in, I have my favorites also. Thank you again. It's much appreciated too. Same thing to you, Sister Sal. Thank you again. Little one's funny today. She's nuts sometimes. Mistrust Lou, thanks for the 2 there. Also, thank you for that. Just Bubba Hip, thanks for the 10 there as well. Bug Money, I don't remember. I think I caught you, but if I didn't, thank you. If I did, thank you. Either way, thank you. Andre, thanks for the 2 there. Little Candy Money, thank you. Appreciate that too, Andre. Like I said, when I get down to certain ones, I can't remember if I got everybody. I remember the first ones. But we caught Alan too. I hope the birthday song sent you well. And again, happy 68. That's 2 birthdays. Yesterday we didn't have 1 birthday. I was shocked. Not 1 freaking birthday. But Alan, thank you. Both of y'all too. I haven't done a happy birthday from all of us to you. Yeah. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Well, I haven't busted one of those out in a minute. I kind of missed the song. Willie, thanks for the 10 there. Also, thank you for the Bug Candy Fund. I think we'll go I don't know, maybe we'll be lazy. There's this weekend usually sit down, like they either have a lazy day, that's where you just get to stop and do nothing until it's work time, it's like stream time. But I wonder about that new Dexter show. I haven't watched it yet. Dexter Resurrection. I wonder how that's going to be. I used to love the show. The last series, I'm not talking about the prequel series. I'm talking about the prequel series. It was okay. But the last one, I can't remember, the one that happened in Alaska. It was okay, all but the ending. I'm curious where they'll go. They'll probably just drop the ball again though with an ending. I think by now, they do that on purpose, because how can you resurrect a show if you had a great ending, right? SF though, also thank you again. That is much appreciated. Ball Python King also. Thank you. I know I caught those two. I do remember both of those. Thank you there. Bonnie, thank you. 10 there. Some for luck there. Thank you too. It's much appreciated. She wants to pop in tomorrow, so we'll see what happens with that. Also, Dragon Lady, what's up? Thanks for the 2 there. I like that Muppet. That's awesome there. I love everybody's avatars. I love looking at them here. I can see them when I click on them. I can't see them very well before I do that a lot of times. But thank you as well. Also, Ball Python King dropped a 5 there for luck. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. It's much appreciated too. Dare, thanks for the 5. I laugh when LP thought she could get a home with Habitat for Humanity. She thought the home was free. Homeowner does 250 hours of sweat, equity plus mortgage. Yeah, you know, that put in, you earn a home. And some people love that. For myself, I worked all my life, you know. I've worked. I've done some pretty hard work. And this right here, this was my first home because kids, you know, more than anything, and rentals have become insane. But I feel it. I feel like in my life, I've worked to afford what I have, you know. And I think like you folks, you probably understand this. You know, even if you're on disability or struggling, you've earned what you have. You know, being poor, not having, doesn't mean you haven't scraped and struggled and put together something. But some people out there, they never have done that. They were like the leech, you know, and that this one's gotten a good bride, in my opinion. So, but yeah, they thought they were going to hit Habitat. You know, it's funny too. She thought she was going to get Shara to actually help set things up. And you see how they treated Shara. Look at how they've treated other donors. I hope this is a cautionary tale to a lot of people out there too. Look how they've treated people over a long run. And I'm not saying that if somebody does something stupid, you don't call it out. But like for men, again, like the Only Me thing, for example, they talk about how Only Me right away, instead of doing X, Y, or Z, went into a chat and made comments. Okay, well, what did they do right away? They didn't try to calm this person down, or they went on to other shows. They talked shit about this person who gave all this money. They did live streams. They did all that, and they did it for months. Then somehow, I have a theory on how they tried to get him back into the fold. But apparently it didn't work for very long. I think he knows something's wrong. I think he does. I think he looks at this stuff, and I think he knows something wrong. Because anybody from the outside can see there's a lot of questionable BS here. And these people, I don't really forgive slights to the level of if somebody they had a bad day or a bad couple of days and they talk some shit about you and you mutually talk shit, that's okay. If they dedicate months to trying to trash me and trying to treat me like garbage, there ain't no going back, man. You know? So I hope they remember that. But Bob, thanks for the 5. P.S. The RV, the money scam LP is falling for. Per Jeremy on his show today, he tracked it down and she's being scammed. Well, I'm not sure about the reality or not. I'm treating it like it's legit, 100%. I don't know. The person out there, maybe it is. You know, I haven't put any work into that. I'm not saying that's wrong. I haven't put any work into that, and I'm treating it like it's 100% legit. It could well be. I mean, I don't know how much one of those things normally costs. I would say if somebody's willing to drop 50% of the price. Oh my God, by the way, did I tell you about the new I told you I was messing the other day with a fake Johnny Depp, right? I made them so mad today they tried to break into my Twitter account. They actually tried to break into my account. Oh my God. It's so funny. So if you missed out the other day on this, they told me, you get those fake Johnny Depps that pop up, you get these fake scammers. And I was like, oh my gosh, Johnny, I heard you're in the hospital. And they went with that. I was like, oh no, is there anything I can do? And they were like, oh yeah, hospital bills. I need a deposit of $15K. I can only come up with like 8. I need 7. I was like, yeah, I got 7 laying around. How can I send it? They were like, oh, you can do it this way, though. I was like, what about iTunes cards? So I told them, before I send money, I typed in this. I did this live. This is where I left off. I was like, well, man, I got money, Johnny. And I really, really want to send it, but my granddaughter is afraid this is a scam. And I said, no, Johnny loves me. But I'm going to get her a picture to show her you're real. Then I can send the iTunes card. I can even make it $10K. And, I got another $100,000 too that I'm sitting on. You just have to show me proof. So they did send me fake pictures of Johnny Depp in the hospital. Oh my God, they really did. Let me get them for you. This is so crazy, man. Like, people use AI for scamming. It's so nuts. But they got so mad about it. I'll tell you why in a minute. Let me show you this here. Again, remember this, when I show this, just making it clear for anybody who runs across, this is a scammer. This is not real. Okay. So let me pull this up for you real fast. Like I said, I thought this was really funny. I love scam baiting. I love messing with these guys, man. So here's the picture that the scammer sent me. These are them. Like, he sent me a fake Johnny Depp in the hospital. Look, the arm doesn't even remotely look like the same person. Look at this. This is what they sent me, though. These are their proof that this is Johnny Depp. He needs my $7,000. Oh my God. Oh, I thought that was so funny, though. So then I wrote them back. Because they're scamming people. I mean, they're ruining people's lives. I can laugh about it all I want. And they wrote me that after I hadn't written them back, they wrote me this morning. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, ah. They also wrote me, listen to this. This is messed up. I'm glad you're being cautious. However, it's great that your granddaughter is looking out for you. I recommend listening to her concerns. Scammers often use emotional manipulation to get people to send money or gift cards. The caution me not to send gift cards to somebody trying to scam me out of gift cards and Bitcoin. To protect yourself and your loved ones, remember that life itself is a lesson. I really need to see your family and everything. Oh, man, And I was like, man, Johnny, that looks rough. What's your medical condition? So they told me, and it was all connected. They gave me this long spiel. You can tell AI assisted, but they were like, well, it's because in 2022, there was this court case involving my ex-wife, Amber Heard. It was terrible. And I was like, oh, wow, man, you had a court case battling your ex-wife? I've never heard of that. Tell me more. So they had to go into this big spiel about that. I was like, man, that's amazing. I was like, LOL. Now look up, who is that umbrella guy in Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial? So they looked it up, and it made them so mad that 30 minutes later, they tried to break into my Twitter account. Let me show you. I got a warning when they were trying to break in. Coming out of New Delhi, trying to break in. And I mean, again, it's 100% the same people doing it, because right after, it was like a few minutes after they had checked their message, I got so mad that I'd gotten them hopeful they were going to make so much money. That, check this out here. I got this alert. Every now you get all kinds of alerts, but this one here, like, we noticed an attempt to log into your account that seems suspicious. Was this you? So, location, New Delhi. I think I made somebody really mad. Oh my God, that was so funny. Oh, Megan Fox has a new video, by the way, talking about a certain person being arrested, which is really funny. You should check it out for sure. Oh, that whole Laura Owens thing is getting really funny, because, well, some of it's crazy. So on the Laura Owens angle, I think this is worth talking about too. You had David Gingras, whatever you want to call him now, right? He just got arrested for DUI, which is funny considering all of the spotlight on him and stuff, and he ends up getting arrested, right? Now, the not funny thing is, as part of everything that's going on, Laura Owens, even though you have police breathing down her neck, you still have her pushing. She's gotten another attorney. She has them representing her, going after one of her victims, Michael Maroncini. They're going after with the restraining order case. It is astounding that this woman has pulled what she did, and she is still allowed to attack two of her other victims. Because the court case, while they drag their feet, she's still allowed to go in and be treated like a victim. Like, that blows my mind. If they decide they want to lawyer up, I think we should help them out. I think they should fight it and freaking bury her legally, because she is such a piece of garbage. Such a terrible human being. But anyway, Cassandra, thanks for the 5 there. She avoided putting money into the property because she knows she's going to lose with the RV she can run. Yeah, I do wonder if the plan is to run. It would be funny if that RV thing isn't real. I'm not saying, again, I've done no research on that. So I don't want to accuse someone of being a scammer unless I know it's legit for myself. I like to make sure, or to see how people investigated that. So I want to 100% hear it, but it could well be. Again, there are warning signs. Like if somebody tells me they want $30,000, thousands of dollars is not a joke in any way. And if you tell me you want $30,000 for something, and then in a day or so you tell me 15,000 would be okay, that is a huge warning sign. If somebody's willing to come off 50% off a cost, now it does happen, it can, but that is a huge red flag. SF, thanks for the 2. And Shara almost had a grant to finish the house. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Shara was willing to go that extra mile too. You know what's bad is they couldn't treat Shara with common decency. Like just with decency. I mean, that blows my mind. And this is a person giving them money that they expected to go out and to basically run PR. They wanted to see, I have a theory on why 2L was brought in, because Shara wasn't running PR like they wanted. Shara was actually, she maybe was slow, but she was actually looking at this case, and they wanted PR. They didn't want a reporter. They wanted PR. So they corrected that issue real quick. But yeah, they had to treat Shara like garbage. Kick her to the curb, beat her down, freaking verbally, yell at her all the time. That's crazy to me. Even messages we have seen have confirmed that they were yelling at her and more. I mean, that's wild. Like some of the messages that were relayed between her and BBB, they're wild. DTG, thanks for the 8 months there. They're building it like the car Christine. Yeah, really. Really, when the new windshield wiper blades are bought before the wind. Yes, indeed. That's funny. The only thing is, like, what's funny is I watched Christine not too long ago. That is, John Carpenter always complains about that movie. And I think that movie is a masterpiece. I love that movie. But yeah, it's not going to heal itself, right? Just Jay, thanks for breaking news. David Dingus is asked Jay to represent him in court. Very smart man. Oh my God, that would be the greatest. That would be the greatest timeline ever. Are you going live tomorrow? Just Jay? I haven't checked your channel. Jay's been really funny lately. I've been watching some of his stuff. He's been pretty wild again, Well, that's been really good to watch. Fallen Hero dropped $3 super sticker there. Thank you, Fallen Hero. That is cool of you too. I appreciate you, bud. I really like your avatar, man. George, thanks for the 5. Maybe they can take 18 cray they have and buy a cheaper motorhome, move away. Yeah, I mean they could potentially take that and bounce. The only problem is that it's too late now. Jeremy Hales has invested a lot of money into trying to clear his name, and I don't see, no matter where they go, would they run? Maybe. That's what I thought immediately when I heard like a giant mobile home. I thought, The idea, though, that I'd like to know about the repoed vehicle and stuff a little bit more too. There's a lot of tidbits out there that I'm curious about. Ball Python King, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships there. Thank you, Ball Python King. It's much appreciated. Thank you. Kelly, thanks for the 5 there. There's a shell that's sitting open to all the weather for years. Yes, especially hurricanes, salt water. It's metal, and permits are not free. Well, that'll be a problem for them there. Yeah, the mess they've made with the shell, the lumber's been sitting out weathering. It doesn't matter. You saw them taking pictures of it just laying on the ground too. I'm sure that they did not take the necessary precautions to keep it from weathering while it sits on the ground and rots. You know, you got to elevate it off the ground. You can't just set it on plastic and let it rot there, or even like boarding. You have to do it a specific way. It's all a mess. Aces, thanks for the 5. LP stated she and Harley deserve to live in that motorhome. Nope, you deserve nothing. Harley deserves much more than anything you give her. Yeah, I feel bad for the kid in all this. The kid has become that poker chip they push forward. And again, I think even the ecosystem backers are getting a little tired of it. Because they could you imagine if they would have delivered on the home? Like if they would have if they had taken a different tack, if they, instead of making up crazy shit about Jeremy Hales, they would have talked about court documents, right? They would have talked about how they thought, let's just say an imaginary world. They would have said they hate him because they talked about, how they think he's a piece of garbage or whatever, but they make them not statement of fact about, hiring. By the way, I still want to know where the money for the so-called expert witness, the one they never planned on playing in the court, that person, where'd that money come from? Who paid for that? That was thousands of dollars. Who paid for that? It was one of the dumbest moves, but it cost a lot of money. I mean, they're talking about needs. Between that and the lawyer for the bankruptcy thing, their big move, instead of pulling out a Florida lawyer, between those two things, you're talking about over $10,000 in cost. Where could $10,000 go? It's a lot of money. You're talking about somebody, again, they don't have any base bills or anything else. They have, everything's being paid by people. I can't believe they got a $400 flea market booth too. It's crazy. Yeah, Sheila, thanks for the 2. Party was for adults, not the child. Yeah, it looked like it broke down. Again, it just, even if we said that was best case scenario, that was all about the kid. Is that what they needed? Did they need to invest thousands of dollars? If we went wholeheartedly at what was there, if you're telling me that a person can't eat, can't do this, they were given gifts, that could have made a hell of a Christmas by itself. There was an Amazon list, and maybe, again, you don't have receipts backing up anything about expenditures. But if that were 100% true, if you have a situation where you need space and living, where should that money have gone? I saw thousands of dollars given. Remember they called that donor, they called him a liar because they said that he also didn't donate for a play space for the kid, but he did. He did. I honestly, you know, again, there are people that say, well, he gave because he wanted to take over and do this, man. It's crazy to hear that from not a chat, man. Like, if chat's one of the things that's fine, but it is crazy to hear these people, number one, that took his money. If you have a problem with him, give his money back. But no. Remember when that came up, you had people like Ray and many of these others go whole full hog and say there's no way they'd ever give the money back. No way. And they don't owe any explanation to anybody about what happens. Okay. It's so wild to me. I'm wondering, I hope to God that this person does not go back to after these people treat them like dog crap again. If somebody's been whispering in your ear telling you to work it out because Jeremy Hales too. Like I said, you don't have to like Jeremy Hales to think that these people are bad people too. You know? I mean, really. See, that's something that I think a lot of people lost perspective on. They think that the two things are not, you know, they're not things that can coexist. You don't have to like a person. Like, you don't have to like me. You don't have to like me at all to think that the shit I'm talking about is messed up and wrong, you know, or these people are scamming people. That both can exist. So James thinks of 5. Does she not realize how bankruptcy works? She's getting deeper and deeper in trouble. Bankruptcy judge kicks her butt, going to be in jail. There's never been. They will probably not put her in jail. You know why they won't put her in jail? Because of the child. Child's a get out of jail free card. She will get to claim whatever. Oh, I'm old. I didn't know better. I was just looking out for my child, and that it's probably worked a lot. I think she'll get herself into big trouble, though. You know, you can also get everybody around you in trouble too. John Cook. I mean, man, you know what's funny is they've made him a patsy, and he's okay with it. He just sits there and he slurps it down like some big moron. He's so okay with it. It amazes me. He just sits there and eats it down. She talks about him being saying that he harms kids. Oh, he's okay with that. Doesn't even argue it. Isn't that weird? I would not be okay with that. Not at all. You know, but he was okay with it. So bizarre to me. Give me a second. Max Lab, what's up? Thanks for 2. Breaking news: the RV listing's gone. Man, I'm glad I got my screenshot. Let me check that then. Yeah. So the RV listing was taken down. You probably had a bunch of people right there. Again, I don't want to say it's scammy because I didn't contact the dude. So I'm being careful with that. You know. Give me 1 second. I'm reading something. Somebody broke something there too. Oh man. So apparently that 18K, reportedly that someone noted that yes, 2L said 18K as well. Holy crap, man. That's nuts, dude. They've also been trying to divert. You notice when all of this comes up, there will be some other thing that they try to divert with. You know, one of the diversion talking points where they have Paint Chip's little buddy saying, oh, Jeremy Hales is messaging me and he was being mean to me. These people, by the way, they write Jeremy Hales every single day. How do I know? Because I get included on some of those. And they harass him every single freaking day. And if he responds, he's like, he's mean to me. But you notice anytime something comes up, they always have some new deflection point. Isn't that bizarre? But yeah, the freaking RV. I'm not surprised the guy removed it. I'm not. You know, either way, if it was a good faith listing, then I'm not surprised it disappeared. And if it was a bad faith listing, I'm definitely not surprised that it removed. You know, it's so bizarre though. Like a bunch of these people, they didn't. A lot of people sent me shots from it too. It's so funny. Give me 1 second. A bunch of people mailed me some new stuff. Excuse me. I usually don't look through it live, but I'm making sure I'm not missing anything tonight. Man, we got a bunch to go over tomorrow too. Good Lord. I can't even keep up with this case. There's so much. Well, you know, we didn't hit the paint chips order either. I guess we'll do that tomorrow, by the way, you know, because on paint chips, there was some problems with his plan about going after oh God, what's the other guy's name? Dinesh. Some people too, they noted to me, they're like, I don't like Dinesh. Well, I don't know who Dinesh is, pro or con, but I do know that Paint Chips is an absolutely horrible human being. And he's been brought in to do bad things. So watching him eat garbage with that is funny. Emma thinks of the 5. I'd love to get a dog for my mental or physical health, but I can't afford expenses, so I don't. I don't beg. If I can't afford it, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't buy animals like that because of the care need too. Okay, I don't believe that those people are equipped to take care of a pet like that. You know, I think that some of the conditions we've seen other things in, like the tortoises, the turtles, that I don't think they should own pets like that. But they still keep coming down with them. It reminds me, it's that weird hoarding habit some people have. Ball Python King, thanks for the 10 there. Breadstick money. Love it. Thank you, brother. I love you to say that. You know, Cindy, thanks for the 14 months. If she buys that motorhome, it'll belong to Jeremy soon. Indeed. I do want to know, though, like I said, if Lynette Preston, I hope she does understand this. If you requested that money, it is your money. Now, if they're trying to hide it for you during bankruptcy or whatever, well, it's your bankruptcy thing. It screwed you because that money, you all have admitted that it exists. It was the dumbest. Why would you admit these things? I don't know. It's amazing. But I'm very proud of them. It takes a special kind. D, thanks for the 4 months there. I've been on here a lot longer. Love the chat, family. Indeed. You know, many of you have. And thank you, D, by the way. Thank you for the 4 months. But yes, indeed. Those numbers, they are not a reflection of how long people have been around or anything. And love to all of you folks. The Floofy, you're all the love you get, the Floofy. Man, there was their cat there. And just the name of the Floofy cat. It sounds cuddly to her. She likes it. Nancy, thanks for the 5. I spoke to the owner. That was noted. Not be selling. So I imagine there were other people too. That's why they ghosted. I can only imagine. We'll be watching because I kind of expected a public meltdown. Maybe that post about how we're all evil is part of the public meltdown. But I kind of expected more of a public meltdown. You know, when she was denied, again, people told her, no, you can't have $5,000. No. She didn't like that. Mozilla, thanks for the 2. We're for the Daleks until Doctor is ginger. Indeed. I do not like new Doctor Who. I think they have just made a mess of the show for a while. But I liked old Doctor Who, and I liked some of the American spinoff up to, I think, Matt Smith, maybe. I didn't really. After that, it covered so much in there. Yeah, man, I'd have to really think about which one is my favorite Doctor. You know, I'd have to break it out. Let me think about that, okay? Because it changes some. And we'd have to go with, are we talking about old school? Or are we talking about Americanized? You know? Let me think about that, though. I liked it. There's some good ones there, you know. Michael, thanks for the 30 there. Tug Recovery Fund. Understand dad roll. What it takes from your reserve until used to restore, you know, metric. Yes, indeed. No metrics there. No metrics. You can't measure it in the metric system. That's hilarious. I love that you worked that in there. Yeah, kids, you know, they're worthwhile. They take a lot out of you too. It has been, I'm lucky that I've gotten to, I do this now, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able, with all the stuff going on. I don't know how I would have been able to do everything, but I've been able to, be around the kids, take care of that too. And that's been fortunate. And I like I said, I like because we were watching something today. I can't remember the show. I have to look back. But getting to hang out or do stuff, outside of like school lesson. We continue, I didn't realize school is on pause, but we still continue school lessons. So when I talk about like, hey, school doesn't stop. If they're homeschooled, if you make good lessons, teach them all the time. So we did some school stuff, but we watched a little bit, and you just get to hang out. And the little one's funny. She's like around and falls asleep on me all the time. It's funny. It's cute too. Fox Den Muppet Mafia. Thanks for the fun. Jeremy, he said, is members only. The trailer is a scam. See, like I said, that is quite possible. That is. It's quite possible. I didn't look at. You could look at it, and again, a glaring red flag to me is her saying that they were willing to take half price. Because we're not talking about like $5 and knocking off a price, or even $100 taking 50. We're talking about $30,000. And if they really were willing to knock off to $15,000, that is a red flag. That doesn't mean you're a scammer, but that is a huge red flag for me right there. So I don't know. It would have been really funny if it was, and she got hit with it. I just don't want to, like I said, I didn't do any research for that. So I'm very careful in trying to label somebody that I didn't look into myself. I don't even have time to approach it that way. There's so much. Liz, what's up, Liz, man? Good to see you there. Thank you. Super sticker on that, because I appreciate it. Appreciate to see you, This craziness. I'm telling you, I'm addicted to this case. Every day I get up and I'm like, what's going on in this case again today? I never want that to sound mean when I talk about it, like I would wish it on someone, but God, this stupid, watching these people melt down on their side of it, watching them start turning on each other, going knives out, it's coming. They will turn on each other. I mean, you've got somebody being told that they can't have the rest of their money. And the rest of their money, I mean, if there is $18,000 around, woo, baby. If they're being told they can't have that money and they wanted it to purchase a mobile home, that's going to be a problem. I think people need to remind LP that is her money. Again, it's not, she doesn't have a guardian. If she wants to spend it, she can. So you get a decision, I don't know, but it's her money. Watch them go knives out is amazing. What's up, Robert? Thank you for the 5 there. $18K for an RV, $6K for a lawyer, $24K. She could have paid 80% of her debt off. $6K, bankruptcy lawyer, 20% for debt. She could have easily, with her debt, what she noted in there, they had enough money to pay off what they called quote unquote debt. That tells you, if she has $18,000 they're sitting on, yes, she could have pretty much wiped the slate clean with a lot of this stuff. But this isn't about that. She thinks that she has some kind of reprieve from the potential millions that she's on the hook for, and for future lawsuits. It's wild. It is. They realize they've opened the door too. If her behavior causes her to lose a lawsuit in Fed 1, you've opened up the door for other people too, right? I mean, she's done some pretty nasty stuff to a lot of folks. And if Fed 1 goes the way it looks like it might, man, they've got to be thinking, push the eject button now. So I agree, Robert. They could have easily, if that was the plan if it was about debt, you're 100% right. They could have cleared up a lot of that, and quickly. Heck, even managing it. And I'm not taking up for banks or anything else. I'm not trying to espouse responsibility. You're adults, man. You take care of your stuff, but I do think that them asking people repeatedly to give, and then lie to them about what it's for. That's wrong. If they do any more, I hope people remember, if they try to do any more begging for money, what's happened to their money lately? Because they will. They're going to ask for money again. Last night, there was crying on stream and stuff. Oh my God, no. You know? And they were going after the big donor. He's a monster. They were hashtagging how they were essentially sick of him. It was amazing. Chapter 7. Thank you, Patrick, by the way, for the 5. Chapter 7. Any assets of substantial value obtained within 180 days of discharge shall be reported to the court, i.e. inheritance, winnings, or gifts. Yes, indeed. Indeed. They also, they're hiding assets. Look, them not coming off that money and trying to play like it's not an asset. She just admitted that they have $18,000. She admitted it in a post. You know how stupid you have to be to do that? She admitted it. My God, I mean, regardless of what she does, whether you keep the bankruptcy going or not. Again, if she decides to drop this, that it's not her money. What would she care? But it's $6,000 of backer money wasted. I wonder, I don't know how much money people put into thinking the thumbnail case would go forward, by the way. I don't know what they did there, but you look at how it went forward. And again, I hope people remember they were lied to about lawyer taking this free versus lawyer taking this on contingency, getting paid on the back end. Real Rye, what's up, Real Rye? Thanks for the 5 there. Dad joke time. 2 antennas got married. The wedding was okay, but the reception was incredible. Indeed. Indeed. I like those kind of jokes. I like some messed up jokes too, but I like those as well. Liz, thank you. 36 months. Man, we're talking about 3 years, baby. Thank you. Hey, Tug, your voice of reason. Too bad they don't take heed of what you say. Always listening. Appreciate you. So glad Lane Bredahoft brought you to me. Much love. Hey, I appreciate you, Liz, right there. Yeah, you know, I don't think I've been a massive jerk about certain. I have, after people decide they want to bring in your private life and stuff. Yeah, of course. But I think I've given these people good sound advice. I think, you know, when Megan and I were talking about this, we were definitely giving them sound advice. How to do this, how not to approach this, what not to do. You know, again, because and that's not really just about them. That's about Hales as well, because they've been trying to ruin his life. So, you know, I mean, you try to give them some kind of a sensical observation, but they don't want that. They thought this stuff was just a lottery ticket. They had won a chance to the big game. And unfortunately for them, again, they have put themselves in. Now, 2L, for example, is talking about how they need a lawyer. Remember, they weren't going to have a lawyer. They were good to go. They were mistaken for a lawyer. There's no problem there, right? Now it's become, oh, wait a minute, they do need a lawyer. And of course they need a lawyer. You know, I'm not denying that. They definitely needed a lawyer. But they talked a lot of smack about how they didn't need a lawyer. How this stuff, it was nothing, you know? It's nonsensical. It's farcical. They're going to be okay. But they weren't, were they? You know? It amazes me, man, looking at these people and the train wrecks they leave behind. Oh, man. But anyway, but I appreciate you, Liz, for sure. And you know what? I love the thing about, well, one of the things about the debt case, I think it cemented a few things. So number one, it cemented the fact that I hope people, when I say I do talk to sources and stuff, I do. I don't burn sources, but I try to talk to them. I try to talk to any source that will give me a picture of something. I make it my own mind about something, but I definitely will talk to people. I would talk to LP. I absolutely would. But you know what? She'd have a fucking meltdown if she talked to me. I think she would, but I would. I've invited her on the show. Like I told, I'd point her into the case law saying that $18,000 is hers. It ain't the chats and it ain't 2Ls. You know, they gave it to her. So but she doesn't want, I'm sure she doesn't want to do that. Rach thinks of 5. Random question. The girls have a twin or full size. I know, very random. I believe Lug has a twin. Let me make sure. I can't remember if we upgraded hers about a year and a half ago, and I can't remember if that is if that's full size or not. So if you remember that, I'll ask today because I just can't remember. I have to look again. There's I can't remember the small sizes. When I go with like queen or king, I can always remember. But you know, twin. I believe the little ones is twin size, and I believe hers is full. But I'd need to look at it again just to make sure. Witch Dust, thanks for the $5 super sticker. Thank you for that. I appreciate that too. I love those super stickers, by the way. I love being able to go back and look at them. Thank you. Rach, thanks for the please coordinate a fundraiser for Mike M. Who is Mike M? Oh, Mayor Cheney? Yeah. I'm sure. So I'm sure that will probably happen. Just to say, I'm sure Mike Mancini will have something come up if he wants help with that. I'm sure it will happen. Okay, like if he's down with it, I know Dave Neal, Laura 90, of course Megan was that we'll make sure it happens, you know. So don't worry about that. Like my Mancini is not going to be left to twist in the wind either. This stuff ticks me off so bad. The Laura Owens thing, it makes me mad because she was caught. She's facing prosecution, and still the system allows her to target people that she's targeted in the past, people who fit her MO for victims. So yeah, he needs a lawyer that'll set this straight. She needs to, I mean, seriously. See, she's still trying to blow people's lives up. So I have no empathy, no compassion for her whatsoever. You know, some people are like, well, Laura Owens is mentally ill. No, she may be. It's possible, but you know what? She's still trying to blow up people's lives. So no compassion. What's up? Wheat toast. Thanks for the 5. Thanks for the entertainment. While I was hanging out at the ER, man, I hope you're all good. Yeah, okay, all good. Just a little bleach in the eye. Got to watch out for that. You know what? One time, I tell you, I'll make you feel better about this. One time I decided I would play around with bear mace. I'd never seen it before, right? And I pulled it out and I sprayed it in the air. When I did, it caught the air and blew it back at me. It was so awful. I got in the shower to wash it off. And afterwards, you know how all that stuff, like it burns. It's not a good feeling. It's rolling down your body. It's like, oh my God, this is horrible. I'm going to die from it. So, you know, compared to that, I think a little bleach in the eye. I'm glad you're doing okay, man. Appreciate you. And thank you for the gifted membership, too. I hope that makes you feel better, though. You know, we all, whether it was called for or not, that was a good one there. Gamer Jackie, thanks for the 4 months. Christine is mine and my cousin's favorite movie. That's awesome. See, I love that movie. Enjoyed it. I love John Carpenter, like some of the Stephen King stuff. I've been going back through a bunch of his short stories and I've been listening to them on audiobook. I wanted to go back through the Langoliers. You know, that's what I've been working on. And then I got I got about a quarter of the way into that, which interestingly enough, William Dafoe reads. So if you want an interesting read, you know, with William Dafoe as the narrator, that's a really fun one. But I got sidetracked. There was a story. His son does some good work. You know, sometimes they get hyper political and it messes up their work. You know, they like get so far off in the weeds. I don't care if you make fun of political parties or you hate one. I just don't want you to spend like 30 pages, you know, ranting about how you hate it. Like that really annoys me, you know, and sometimes that happens. But Hale does that every now and then. Joe Hill, his son, but he can write a heck of a book too. He has one of the best comic series. If you've seen the series, by the way, it's Lock and Key. came on, I don't remember the network. That is a shadow of the books. The comic books, oh my gosh, they're so good. If you've never seen the series, don't watch it. Read the books. They are amazingly good. You should pick them up. I love that freaking series. But his son is really talented too. I went on a viewing spree for Stephen King stuff for a little while. I went back and I did watch The Langoliers. Oh, man, you know, it was early CGI, so it was kind of a mess. Especially, I still like it. I have a soft spot for it. I watched The Night Flyer. By the way, if you've never watched The Night Flyer, that's a very underrated movie. A lot of people don't even know that exists. You can find it on YouTube for free, 4K cleaned up. Just don't watch anything about it. Just watch it. You know, it's a strange little movie. You'll like it. I said Rose Red is on there too. Rose Red 4K cleanup. Oh my God, that is one of the best haunted house stories I think I've ever seen made for TV. Rose Red, I love that series. Anyway, okay, but their parents bought a Plymouth and did it up like her. That's awesome too. Also, imagine how fast LMOP would destroy that RV. Yes, indeed. Thing would be a garbage heap and fast. No, it would be. Megalodon's foe. Thank you for the 10 there. There can only be one co-host. Fight me. Oh my gosh. That's what we need. We need a Thunderdome. You know what I mean? We need like a Dr. Dealgood to come in. I love that movie, by the way. That does not get enough love. I don't know how much all of you have ever watched, like with the Mad Max, but I don't think they get enough love at all. In fact, the early ones, like with the new remakes, they're not as good at all. I like that, like Dr. Dealgood. I think I can remember his speech. You know, he's like, listen on. This is the truth, though. Fighting leads to killing, and killing gets to warring. And that was damn near the death of us all. Look at us now, busted up, and everyone talking about hard rain. But we've learned, by the dust of them all, Bartertown's learned. Now, when two co-hosts get to fighting, it happens here, and it finishes here. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. That's right. We gotta have Thunderdome for co-hosts. That would be amazing. Cajun Bio Queen. I like your name. When it comes up, I appreciate it. Just, I don't know. I like that with the avatar and everything. Thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. That is much appreciated too. Man, I like a lot of people's freaking avatars. And Gina, thanks for the 10 there. Just because indeed. Appreciate that, by the way. Man, I had some craziness pop off yesterday. I did get it sorted today. So last night, in the middle of the night, I had HostGator. You know, the place that hosts different websites? I had them try to charge me $400 last night. It went through PayPal, $400 or $395. I was like, what the what? Now this gets fixed, so it's just a story. No problem with it, but it's like, what the what? You know, I'm not hosted through them. You know, Ray. I mean, you're talking about a top to bottom job on fixing anything. So, by the way, if you ever need a website, that's the guy to go to. You know, you're not going to get you're not going to get some kind of cheap, crappy knockoff of it. You're going to get a good, secure website. You can get secure hosting, everything. You'll pay one time on it, you know, you can have follow-up and stuff, but you'll pay one time and it'll work right. And if you have problems, you'll have a guy that'll come back and fix them for you. So anyway, I called but HostGator, I contacted them. I also contacted PayPal. I was like, what the hell? You know, like, this is not right. And they did refund me, by the way. But I contacted HostGator. And it was like, what's going on with this? You know, I don't have anything listed with you guys. What are you talking about? So they told me that actually I did have a website hosted with them. I had I'd have to look it up, but it was somethingskitchen.com. It was like, what? What are you talking about? Like, I've never had, I've never made a random website in my life. And to tell me that I'm hosting some place, like, that's not correct at all. You know, it's not at all. And to try to bill me $400 or something, obviously it wasn't mine. You're insane. So I got my money back, but man, I was miffed. And Tanya, thanks for the 5. Missed up jokes. What do you call a deaf dog with no legs? It doesn't matter. It won't come anyway. Oh, that's so mean. Oh, man. Especially considering their roads out there. Hey, what's up, kiddo? I will come over here and talk for a minute. I'm at the end. Yeah. You wanted to talk to me for a minute? Over here. You want to talk to the chat?
Hey, everyone.
Yeah. What you been doing? Oh, you got your toy phone? Who you calling? You calling the chat?
No.
You calling the chat? Ring, 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 ring. What's up, chat?
I calling, Lightning Strike.
Oh, you calling your friend Lightning Strike? Yes, she has her imaginary friends. Her imaginary friend. I'm sorry, she has her great friend, right? Her great friend's name. The first name is Lightning, and the second name is Strike. That's right, Lightning Strike. That's right. And what was the other one that Sissy helped you name? What's your other one? What was it?
Chainsaw Massacre, you mean?
Chainsaw Massacre. I was like, your sister told your friend should be named what now?
I was trying to press text. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed call on accident.
Oh, you called them on accident. Oh, no. Oh,
I want to ask Lightning Strike if he was awake.
Yeah, you asked Lightning Strike. See how she's doing.
Are you awake? I said yes.
So she did? Are y'all going to hang out this weekend?
Yeah, you must have got me.
What?
Me and Lightning Strike were doing a little party, like a sleeper, you know what I mean?
Y'all are going to a party?
No, we're going to a party here in my room.
Oh, man. Hey, can you say thank you to D?
$2.
Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
They said more money for the kid, and they sent other $2. Can you say thank you for that, too?
Thank you, too.
Yeah, they were thanking for the Muppet avatar they have. Do you like their Muppet you made?
Yeah.
Hey, let's look at it. Let's see if you like it.
Hey, Dad.
Look at their Muppet. Look, I made that. Is it look good? You like their Muppet? It's based on them. Like, people send me a real picture, and I'll turn it into a Muppet. I've got a couple more that I need to make for people. We need to go through a video tomorrow, and that way I can make them while there's a video. So we're going to probably watch a video. Yeah, probably tomorrow we'll watch a video with somebody. And that way I can finish up this too.
I'm texting Lightning Strike while you're talking.
Okay. What are y'all texting about?
I text her about where we have a party house, but we're not going to make noise. We're not going to make our music too loud because we put on music every single time when Hale comes here. If we have a party together, we better have music.
Really? You and Lightning Strike are going to party together, huh?
Yeah. It's a little, it's like a sleepover music thing. You know what I mean? Like, when you have a sleepover and you do stuff and then you go to sleep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So you just have a sleepover and goof off? Yeah.
You.
Well, you want to tell me more about it? Can you tell me more about it then? Go on.
Yeah. We do a little thing every single night sometimes.
Aussie Wombat. Can you say thank you, Aussie Wombat?
Thank you, Aussie Wombat.
They sent. Do you know what that much is? You know those numbers?
Mm-mm.
That's 14. That'll be $14.99. So that's $15. You know?
Mom here.
Yep. Are you talking on the phone? Who's on the phone? Lightning Strike, are you there?
And her said yes.
Oh, her said yes? Man.
Yeah. I had to get a little milk. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all are planning your party tomorrow, but y'all aren't going to get too crunk. Y'all aren't going to play the music too loud.
Yeah, because we didn't need.
Does Lightning Strike have a pool?
Yeah, it was a pool.
Oh my goodness. Lightning Strike has a pool, man.
Yeah, it was the house a bunch of times, and although we wear a pool at promos sometimes when I go to the whorehouse.
Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. All right. Well, hey, let's tell everybody bye-bye. Okay. You ready to tell people bye? We appreciate you. We will see you tomorrow.
We
by the
will
way.
see you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, folks. Appreciate you.
What's your